Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the watch party for the Cleveland Browns. Week what? Is it week 9 already? Are we at week 9 already? Week 9 matchup versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Jameis Winston's second start. Nick Chubb's third game back. A lot to look forward to here. What we talked about before this game is the key to this game is going to be the Browns' ability to be able to get the Chargers offense off the field. The Chargers offense does not put up a lot of points, but they do take up a lot of time of possession, and they do stay on the field for a relatively long amount of time, which leads to their defensive numbers looking pretty good, but I think that's a result of the defense not being put on the field a lot. I think they're going to look strong early in the game, but I do think you can wear down the Chargers defense if you just continue to get them on the field, if you just make them play more than they're used to playing, because this is an older defense that we're talking about, right? Joey Bosa on the older side, Khalil Mack on the older side, Denzel Perriman on the older side. I think you can wear them down defensively. Remember, this is a defense that struggled mightily last year under Brandon Staley. And now they're playing well under Jim Harbaugh and his defensive crew there. But that's going to be something to look out for. Can the Browns defense get the Chargers off the field? And the key here is going to be, can they stop the run, right? Browns out 2 linebackers. That's going to be a big deal for them being able to try to stop the run, because linebackers obviously key to stopping the run, but also when you don't have Jordan Hicks, when you don't have JOK, those are 2 of your better playmakers, your TFL creators, and we know that the Browns already aren't the heaviest team when it comes to run defense. That's going to be the key to this game. Can they stop the run enough to get the Chargers off the field? I have no doubt they will be able to do something against this Chargers passing attack, but when it comes to getting the Chargers off the field on the run game, that's going to be key to this. Browns about ready to kick this ball off, or somebody's ready to kick this ball off. I don't know who's getting the ball here. It's a nice day there, 60 degrees in Cleveland, Ohio, sunny. So all options are on the table here.
Different than when we were here 2 weeks ago. The Chargers, meanwhile, more comfortable in their new offense. Justin Herbert told us that his ankle is markedly improved. And Jim Harbaugh said that he thinks his quarterback is playing the position better than anybody in the National Football League right now. And Spiro, Herbert gets an extra weapon today with the return of Quincy. Look for Johnson to stretch the field.
Go Browns. Q, your film breakdowns and your Q&A set your channel apart, and is a big reason why I'm a fan of your content. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate the super chat, Luke. All right, the Browns are kicking off here, so that means the Chargers will receive. We'll see that defensive question first as Dustin Hopkins kicks this thing off to the Chargers. It's going to go back through the end zone, and the Browns defense going to get a clean shot here to start this game off. Shout out to all the Lukes in the audience. I know a lot of good Lukes out there. Shout out to Soul Train for becoming a member.
Been scrambling much more in the last 2 weeks.
All right, stopping the run's going to be paramount here. Play action here. All right. Browns expecting run. I think everybody expecting run. Now Denzel Ward back out there after having a concussion last week. So you have a healthy secondary.
Really a major source of concern last couple of years with all the injuries. They took Alt with the 5th overall pick as they start to get that group in order.
Yeah, the combination between Alt and Rashawn Slater on the edges has been
outstanding. A little end around here, and the Browns contain it up nicely. Good job there. Way to edge set. All right, it's going to put them in 2nd and long here, where you want to get the Chargers in 3rd and long. They don't convert really well there.
Today they have to go without
Yeah, the linebackers are the concern here. Can you keep this 2nd and long, 3rd and long? That's what your linebackers help you do. Myles Garrett with a hell of a jump off the line of scrimmage here. Misplaced ball to Donald Parham. No, that's not him. Jalen Reagor. It's different 89 here for LA. All right, 3rd and long here. Got to get him off the field.
We heard the report from the DD. He's up after that concussion last week.
Well, you watch this defense, Barrow, and they're still really good most of the time. They've had some key breakdown in select games.
Browns fans are loud.
Really with bad timing, and that's really been the big difference from this season.
Mike Hall is in. He's on the interior.
Herbert from the gun. Here they come. They rush 4. Herbert.
Nothing. No penalty. Denzel Ward. Seatbelt on Josh Palmer. And that's going to be the key, right? The way that the Chargers beat you, the Chargers play Tomlin ball. The Chargers want to grind out these drives, much like how the Browns wanted to win with Jacoby Brissett. They want to get these long drives, right? I think they're trying to I don't think they trust their defense as much as the numbers would indicate. Like, they play this low-yield style of football when they have such a high-yield quarterback in Justin Herbert. It makes me think like that they want to limit possession so their defense doesn't get on the field a ton because they don't trust it to hold up after a certain amount of possessions. So we'll see if the Browns can attack it well. They're going to have bad field position to start. But we'll see if we get Nick Chubb involved. Yeah, way to get him off the field. Justin Herbert missed 2 passes there, pretty much. Well, missed 1 pass there. I think the other pass was well defended by Denzel Ward. Now it's going to be interesting to see what this offense looks like. I think the Browns are going to come out here trying to run the ball quite a bit here. Jerome Ford's back. That's a big deal for this Browns offense, right? You get your second running back back. I think they're going to run to that. Chris Gustafaro with the $10 super chat. Hey, Q, if you want a good example of why trading Myles Garrett is a horrible idea, just look at when the Raiders traded Khalil Mack. And the thing is, no disrespect to Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett has always been better than Khalil Mack. Like, if you look at where Myles Garrett is now to where Khalil Mack was at that time, he's better, right? Like, he is a once-in-a-generation type talent. Like, you just don't trade dudes like that. It'd be like trading Jim Brown. It'd be like trading Ray Lewis from the Ravens, right? You don't trade guys like that in the prime of their career. And it drives me nuts when people think it's a good idea. You know how rare it is? Even if you get 3 number 1 overall picks, it's not a guarantee that there's a Myles Garrett coming out that's going to go number 1 overall in one of those 3 years. Like, a Myles Garrett is rare to get when you have the number 1 overall pick, let alone when you don't have it. And trading with the Detroit Lions, you ain't getting a number 1 overall pick. Hayden Perry says, that man JK still nice. Yeah, hey, look, got to contain them. They're going to try to run the ball a lot here. Got to contain them. Like how they started out this drive, got to contain them. Now let's see if we can run the ball. Yeah, you don't trade Myles Garrett. You don't trade Myles Garrett. Like, I think people overrate the value of first-round draft picks because I think sometimes we think that there's something that they're not. They're not a guaranteed ticket into becoming a Super Bowl contender. There have been plenty of teams that have had a bunch of first-round picks and have not even gotten close to being a contender. Like, it's not this guarantee that people think it is. I've lived it. We've lived it. The Browns had 1 million first-round picks. We ain't been to an AFC Conference Championship game ever since coming back in 99. You want to know how you get to conference championship game? You keep the good players that you have. And you build around that. Don't forget to like the stream.
First attempts off starting field position as they begin inside their 10-yard line. Winston makes a 2nd straight start for the injured Deshaun Watson. Gives here to Nick Chubb.
All right, it'll be 2nd and 8.
Appearances coming back from that devastating knee injury.
I expect the Chargers defense to start strong.
Surprise. DeJuan Jones, who started last week at left tackle for the first time in his career,
He's starting again.
Stay in that spot, even with the return.
That is a surprise.
Wills, their former first-round pick.
Yeah, he went in
Good for
there
DeJuan.
last week and wasn't perfect, but really did a good job. But really good news for the Cleveland Browns. It's that offensive line that has dealt with some injuries is starting to get a little bit more stable.
Good throw. Ooh. First down. All right, you reset field position with that. That's really good there.
They pick up 9 in the first down.
He is like a new player.
Cedric Tillman becoming Mr. Reliable is crazy. Look at that. Just great release off the line of scrimmage.
6 games. He has been a big beneficiary. Really
Way to not stare it down too, Jameis.
Weeks ago and had his breakout last week.
Wills is healthy. He's just not starting.
Comeback win against Baltimore last week.
Run here for Chubb. Breaks through. Good run. That's a nice Nick Chubb run right there.
Back to his peak form
Very good.
as he runs right through the teeth of that LA Chargers defense.
There you
Speaking
go.
of LA's defense,
Good run.
Fulton, big missing piece. One of their starters at corner out today with a hamstring. Of course, Asante Samuel still on IR. But this is the #1 scoring defense arch in the NFL.
They've done a terrific job also stopping the run. I'm going to be interested to see today, when you look at the Chargers defense, they play the most in the NFL with both of their
Second and 3.
safeties back in a too-high look. That means the Browns are going to try and run against that. I can't wait to see, can they stop the Browns rushing attack by keeping both of their
David.
safeties back in this game.
David Njoku moving prematurely.
Offensive 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
49th offensive penalty for Cleveland's offense. That is the most of any team in the NFL.
Can't take yourself behind the sticks there.
Since he took over the play calling reins from Kevin Stefanski. We'll see if he pushes the right buttons against this really good Chargers defense. Dorsey, first year as the OC here, replaced Alex Van Pelt after last year. Last couple of years in Buffalo as the OC. 2nd and 8 for the Browns. Winston, pump faking, but changed his mind a couple of times. That little fake.
All right, be decisive, Jameis. Be decisive.
You're
going to run.
Terrific bounce back game for him, dumping Winston for a loss of a yard.
Really, this was excellent coverage.
Yeah, good coverage.
As if the Chargers
You would think us Browns fans would know by now, picks are never a guarantee. We've missed on a ton of picks to get picks, and we've got right. Yeah, Jeremy, I agree with you. The draft is not this exact science people pretend it to be. And we all know this when the draft comes around.
On 3rd and 9, Winston from the gun. Protected well.
Oh, just a little low.
And incomplete.
It's okay.
To Elijah Moore.
It's okay.
Winston low with that pass. Cam Hart, one of the rookie 5th round.
Look, again, I expected the Chargers defense to look very strong early. The question is, if you keep getting the Chargers off the field, how are they going to look? And that was a completion there. Jameis just doesn't put enough under it for whatever reason. He just kind of overthrows it.
You mentioned that Christian Fulton, he hasn't played. So the Chargers have played with 2 rookies out there for the majority of the time, and they have really done a...
Nah, that's not a ball that Moore could catch it, but that's really low. That's on Jameis. Jameis got to throw that ball a little bit better.
This one is fielded.
It would. Oh, come on, you can't do this. Can't do that. Can't give him free yards down the field. Special teams has just been bad this year. I think this might be the last year of Bubba Ventrone, to be honest with you. I think this hasn't worked out the way we wanted it to. I mean, how many times have we seen this under him?
Just a tremendous, Davis, a tremendous job of using special teams to set up Justin Herbert in his 2nd drive of the game inside the 30-yard line.
All right, field goal here would be amazing.
So Cleveland's punt coverage, remember they had that big one that they gave up a couple of weeks ago to Cincinnati? They give up a big one here. Kick return to big report.
Good tackle.
J.K. Dobbins spinning his way up through the middle of that Cleveland front.
Cannot give the Chargers offense free yards. I mean, this is not an offense that gets up and down the field easily.
2 amazing yards. He played the next week in Pittsburgh, aggravated the injury, but also, remember, he had the foot injury that caused him to miss a bunch of their training camps. So physically, just trying to get himself back to full strength.
Physically, and also trying to learn a new offense and not having the practice time on the field. Certainly, he's proven throughout his career he's tough enough to play. But you can see it changed the way they called the football game. Again, you'll see them start to open things up.
Herbert, here they come. Little sidearm delivery completes. Second catch.
Way to crash down on that. What's the hole?
We'll check the flag.
Is that holding?
From referee Bill Venovich.
Big. Move him back.
It's their rookie right tackle, Joe Alt, who's been really impressive so far in his rookie season.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Bubba's had too many kick coverage bust, right? Like the field goal making stuff, that's not really on Bubba Ventrone. The punt performance of Corey Bojorquez, that has nothing to do with Bubba Ventrone. The stuff that has to do with Bubba Ventrone is punt and kick coverage. Yeah, it's hold. And good job by Isaiah McGuire getting put him in that position. But yeah, the stuff that Bubba Ventrone has control over, it's just not good.
Not a lot of pressure coming from the outside.
Boy, a sack here would be huge.
Herbert on 2nd and 17. They protect him. He
Okay.
again fires across the field looking for McConkey.
3rd and long here.
You see the trust and the bond that is built between Herbert and his rookie receiver. There's Greg Roman. Arch mentioned him earlier. There's a long, successful career as an offensive coach in this league for a long time. What has he done up here on 3rd down?
Well, most of the season, they've been pretty close to, when it comes to run pass, almost 50-50. Which is a lot more than you would think they have.
Greg Roman loves to do like quarterback draws and shit in this moment.
Well, twice. And one of those was a reverse to Quinton Johnson. You see Jim Schwartz.
They got called timeout.
Chargers burning a timeout here.
Mike Ford whiffed on the punt. I don't think y'all understand that, like, it shouldn't be the case that Mike Ford is the thing that's stopping you from giving up 70 yards on the punt return. Like, you get what I'm saying there? Yeah, Mike Ford missed the tackle. But why is Mike Ford missing a tackle just going to blow the roof off all this coverage? Like, if one guy misses a tackle, that's it. That's bad coverage. Your coverage should be able to withstand somebody missing a tackle. If you're relying on Mike Ford to make every tackle at the point of attack, you don't have a good scheme. You're just relying on a good player.
To find the right matchup. But more importantly, don't take a sack.
They got Mike Ford, not Mike Ford. They got Mike Hall at edge.
50 from here.
Oh,
Multiple flags. We'll see the call here.
is that going to be false start on the offense? No, it's us.
Let's bring against Obo Karanko. That'll get him some yardage and make this a little bit more palatable on 3rd down.
Come on now. That's the 2nd time.
That counts so tough if you can do it well.
That's a snap and pre-snap penalty this week. Can't turn a 3rd and 12 into 3rd and 7, right? Got to get them off here. Force a field goal.
When you start getting towards the goal line, that is very difficult for an offense to operate. It should be to the defense's advantage that time. It gives Justin Herbert an extra 5 yards to work with.
Chargers going right into that dog pen with Herbert.
Completes
McConkey. Lad McConkey wasting no time. 3 targets, 3 catches. He picks up 10 here. 1st down Chargers.
Yeah, just really a great route design to take advantage of man-to-man coverage. They put 3 receivers.
What they
first
run here? A bunch. What they do? A whip underneath?
to the
Yep.
right, and then they're going to create a little shield, and then McConkey is going to settle in. You know, he reminds me
Yeah,
of a lot
post
of
whip.
touchdowns for the Indianapolis Colts. So smart, has such a good IQ, and just a great feel on how to work the underneath coverage.
Comes in on
Good stop.
100 yards
There you go.
last week against the Saints.
Good job, Winston.
Things going backwards. Winston Reed leading the charge for this Cleveland defense.
All right, got him behind the sticks again. That's big.
And we already talked about, not having Owusu Koromoa in the lineup. These linebackers, there's no Jordan Hicks. So you're going to get some different combinations of linebackers on the field in this game. You got Diabate, you've got Devin Bush, and that time an excellent read by Winston Reed to come up and make contact behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, pressure, sack. There it is. Big man. Big man. Big time. All right, got to get him off here on 3rd and long.
I mentioned how they're so good.
Look, you can attack that interior of the Chargers. You can attack it. They're not strong. Justin Herbert has the highest sack percentage of his career at 7% this year. Even though they have great tackle play, that interior is vulnerable. Now you're in 3rd and 21 here. Let's force a long field goal. See where it takes you. No, dude, you can't give that up. You can't. Come on now. They gave him free 7 points there. That's ridiculous. Defense got to get those 7 back. That's ridiculous, man. 3rd and 21. What happened? Who fell asleep? It's Denzel Ward. Oh, Denzel Ward in the fucking safety again.
Denzel playing it's like he expects safety help over the middle.
Denzel.
It's outside for a huge play on 3rd and 21.
All right.
Just after they get the sack.
All right. Gave him free 7. Got to get it back. Got to get the 7 points back here. Starts with scoring right here on this next possession. Getting some points up. But hey, 2 mistakes compounded on top of each other, right? So you have the mistake on the punt coverage. The punt coverage is awful. Almost give up a touchdown on the punt return. You finally get the 3rd and 21 defensively, and you just fall asleep there. Like you're in cover 2. Nobody's taking the deep end. Everybody's looking inside. You're just not locked in for whatever reason. Maybe they snapped the ball quick. I don't know. But it's not an excuse. And you give up 7 points there. So that's not even just like, oh, well, it's special teams' fault. Special teams played a role in it, but defense gave up 7 when they had no business giving up 7 too. So special teams and the defense, they got to get those points back for this Browns team in order to make up for that one. They got to get those 7 points back for sure. They got to create 7 more points for this team because that's on them. No, that wasn't even Thornhill. I don't know why people are blaming Thornhill. It was Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward. I thought that was Grant Delpit, right? It was 9. That was 9 that just gave that up. Someone just said Denzel Ward stinks. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down, kid. Relax. Relax. Denzel Ward is likely to get that play back. Let's relax here. We've just said Denzel Ward's been playing like one of the best corners in the NFL. He gave up 1 play. Let's relax. Yeah, let's relax. It was 1. It was Thornhill. Got to figure that out. I thought it was 9. All right, let's get something on offense going here, though. Well, I mean, they could have been. Someone said they were clearly in cover 2. And you look at the other side, it does look like cover 2, but they could have been in 6. I think they were like, it could be 6 where Denzel's supposed to carry. You're playing 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Well, 4 on one side, 2 on the other, my bad. Which is why it's called cover 6, because 4 plus 2. So, I mean, you could be running mixed field coverages. I think something got flipped, and then they didn't notice that it was flipped, something like that. I don't know. But hey, gotta get those points back. You can get those points back. Just gotta get them back. Defense owe you one. The defense owes you one for sure. There it is, right hand.
The 27-yard touchdown strike Herbert to Joshua Palmer to get us our first points. But you don't see those kinds of defensive breakdowns much from Jim Schwartz's defense, but my goodness.
No. And, Herbert, again, when you look at the biggest difference in this passing game in the last 2 weeks is how often he's been able to go down the field. A dramatic difference. Before, in their first 5 games, they only had 3 completions over 20 yards. But he has been more apt to hang on to the football and just let it fly. But that is a massive breakdown on 3rd and 20.
Oh, what's this kick?
10 completions over the last 2+ weeks of 20+ air yards.
Oh, there's a little bit of crease.
This return here
All right.
by Pierre Strong, and they're going to get them out close to the 16-yard line after a return of about 24 yards. CBS tomorrow, we have you covered with NCIS, followed by a new NCIS Origins, all new CBS Monday, and streaming on Paramount Plus. They part out to the 25-yard line. So Jameis Winston,
Jerome Ford in.
offensive possession after the 3-and-out earlier. Now suddenly dealing with a 7-0 deficit as they begin at their 25-yard line. Winston to the air.
There you go.
It's a first down catch. Jerry Jeudy with his first target. So Jameis Winston, you think the last couple of years, the injuries that he had to contend with, talked about the process in our chat with him on Friday of getting himself physically back to the level where he could just compete. But the numbers since he left Tampa as a starter, pretty good, Arch.
Yes, he's always going to be a quarterback that has stretched the field. His number one thing that he has to prove, can he take care of the football?
Third quarter.
Can he avoid the giveaways?
Hand off here to Chubb.
They did a good job crashing on it.
Scrimmage.
So it comes to, again, it's the risk reward. He is an aggressive quarterback. He is not afraid to make some throws, but even as good as he played last week, the 334 yards and 3 touchdowns, they did get lucky because he did throw 3 footballs that were dropped interceptions. The big one was right before the go-ahead touchdown to Cedric Tillman. If he can clean those up, there is no doubt that he has what it takes to, again, become a franchise quarterback in this league.
Winston high.
The fingertips of David Njoku has really started to come on of late. Winston gave him a chance, but Njoku just could not squeeze it. Winston has been a breath of fresh air for this franchise.
Yes, but again, it's playing.
Winston's got to settle into this game a little bit.
But you love this. The very next play, all-out blitz. Not phased, protected, and he hits the play down the field. So he is capable of doing anything he wants on the football field. Again, can he avoid the catastrophic turnover is going to be the key for Winston.
What are they doing on 3rd and 10?
Almost intercepted. All right.
Henley had a chance right over the middle of the field. Cedric Tillman was the intended target as Winston dodges a bullet.
Yeah, and
Let's see what the play call was.
From this Charger defense.
So what it looks like the Chargers are trying to do. Yeah, he threw that one right in there.
And I just look at both of these.
So what it looks like the Chargers are trying to do, and I think it is a good game plan that they're going with. They're going to drop. They're not going to blitz like Baltimore did, right? Baltimore tried to blitz a ton. Clean punt off. Baltimore tried to blitz a ton. Good field position here. Good field position here. Great field position here. Got him at the 5. So we can get good field position on the drive back if we get a 3-and-out here. So good stuff there by Corey. Way to flip the field. But, yeah. What the Chargers are trying to do with Jameis is they're not going to blitz him like Baltimore did. Baltimore blitzed him. Jameis anticipated it. He was able to have a lot of open space, a lot of middle field open, get the intermediate throws that he wanted. I think they had a game plan in that was used to like how Deshaun was playing in his offense. How they're going to play against Jameis is they're going to drop 8 in coverage. And what they're going to do is make Jameis make a decision and throw into a tight window. And they think they have a good chance to get an interception if you force them to throw enough tight windows. That's how I would play Jameis, in my opinion. So I think it's a good strategy. We'll see if it works out for them. Because when you do that, you could leave yourself susceptible to the run game. Why I think it's important for the Browns defense to continue to get the Chargers off the field, because that kind of a game plan will work in the first quarter and the first half for sometime. But if you force them to do that into the second half, they're going to wear down because it's just less bodies going up against the run, and you're going to have more success going up against the run. Now, the defense has to get the offense off the field and obviously limit points so you can attack that. We'll see. Slow first 2 drives for the offense for sure. We'll see how it goes. This is a good chance. Hey, if you're the defense, you know you owe this offense 7 points. This is a good chance to get it back here. You're going to get a chance to get it back here, right? If you can flip field position, I mean, that's helpful. That's very helpful. And you got to maintain that flip field position. They're at the 4 right now. They punt it, and you keep them at the 4. You're talking about the Browns getting the ball offensively in their own territory. You don't need a safety here. You just need a stop, right? I don't think you need to get a pick 6 or something like that. Just need to get a stop. You're only down 7. Like, let's relax. And it's the first fucking quarter, y'all. Like, let's go. With the sense of urgency is not here. Y'all are already up here. Let's relax. First quarter. You just need to get them off the field so you can flip the field of the possession. It'd be nice if you can get a touchdown here.
Two possessions, the punt, and then the 27-yard touchdown pass. Herbert to Josh Palmer.
Don't bite.
To get us our long points.
Don't bite. Don't bite. Don't bite. We did.
It's Kamani Vidal, the rookie running back, 6th-round pick out of Troy for a run of 7. Here's where.
Yeah, Diabite, being a young linebacker, doesn't understand that being early can sometimes not be on time, right? He kind of crashes down, gets into that A-gap way too fast, allows him to get washed out pretty quickly there to open up that gap. There's a rhythm and timing to run defense. He wasn't there. There we go. Good job, Devin. 3rd and short.
People forget how good they were with the ground game the first 2 weeks. Back-to-back 130-yard games to start the year for Dobbins. Can they get back to that here over the next couple of weeks?
Yes, I agree. And I do believe that again, I mentioned how good I think Greg Roman is as far as designing a run game for an offense. But I do believe that now you start to see a healthy Herbert. The more play action we see, I believe, is going to start to open more things for the run game.
Browns rush 3. Chargers
Got it. That's a punt. Good job. Good job. Was that Hickman? Good job. Good job.
I really is. And that's the second time today that the Chargers have used a wide receiver in their perimeter run game.
Yeah.
The first time it was Quentin Johnston. And
Great read on it. Way to close it off. Great job.
To just come up.
All right, let's flip this field.
Read your keys. Come on to make the play.
Dealt with a guy who's been banged up.
There you go.
Missed a couple of weeks ago with a concussion. Now a groin injury.
There you go. All right, at the 45. Good field position now.
6 yards on the return, 48 on the punt.
It's exactly what you wanted. It's exactly what you wanted defensively. That's a successful set by the defense. Way to bounce back from a bad set. That's exactly what you wanted, right? Flip the field position, get your offense in good field position. You're about 5 yards from being in positive field position here. So you're a first down away from being in your own territory. That's exactly what you wanted from the defense. Good drive there. Good possession there. Way to be on task. Anybody acting like punt returning in the NFL is easy, please stop. Please stop. I promise you it's not as easy as it looks on TV. Like, it's not as simple as going north-south. No, he was supposed to. He read his blocks. He went where he's supposed to go. All right, let's run it. I'd like to see Jerome Ford get a carry here. Yeah, good set by the defense there. Now you got a chance being in your own territory, which you're like 30, 40 yards away from field goal range. Good spot to be in. Good spot to be in. Oh yeah, the Cavs 7-0. It's dope. Yeah, let's get Broccoli up out of here. He be trolling too much. I'm not in the mood for it.
Nothing Chargers. Third offensive possession for Jameis Winston and Cleveland. By far their best starting field position as they begin here from their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, they've been backed up on their own line of scrimmage. So now you get good field position first time all game.
Winston gonna go play action, faking the jump, throws across his body near side.
Yeah.
Caught by
Winston has to calm down a little bit. He's been inaccurate high and low in this game. I think he's just a little bit too juiced up. He needs to calm down a little bit, relax. I think if he relaxes a bit, he'll be okay. But he needs to relax a bit.
John in Baltimore with Mike McDonald and that whole crew. Aren't you really like what you've seen from his defense here? Early part of the season, 2nd and 8. Winston feeling the pressure. Khalil Mack.
Who blew pressure through?
Boy, this happens so fast. The move that Khalil Mack puts on Conklin, coming from this right side, the up and the under. He goes upfield.
Ooh,
comes
good move.
Jameis
just completely blew by 2 all-pro players. Khalil Mack's still very good at football, huh?
Exceptional season. Just adding to his greatness.
Got a sack now back-to-back weeks, 106 for his career. 4th among active players.
Might go for that. Is that intercepted?
Incomplete. Chargers are arguing that it was pulled by Derwin James.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Almost. Why, Derwin James. Look at this.
Nah. That's a catch. That's a catch.
Officials say that it hit the turf, better angle from here. But what a physical play. The recovery by James to come across the body.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure it hit the ground from that angle.
That's a catch.
I don't think it's going to be enough. Even if they did review this.
Knee down.
Catch, I don't think it would be a first.
Does he have to survive the ground?
Give him some field position. But excellent job in contesting that catch.
If you're going to punt, you don't want to challenge, obviously.
So Marquez with that bomb on the leg.
Not a great punt.
Fair caught by the Chargers. They're going to have it just outside the 20-yard line. Conti fielding that punt, 39-yarder from Marquez.
It's not in the end zone, so you don't have to. It's not out of bounds or in the end zone, so you don't have to survive the ground. All right. Offense starting slow today. How many likes we got on chat? Let me see. Let me check the likes. Well, we got 788 people watching. And we have 197 likes. We got to get to 500. Let's get to 500 likes right here. 500. Oh, I fell off my bike and got road rash. That's what happened to my arm. I think the Chargers came out here with a pretty good game plan. Right now, both teams are playing way more possessions than they wanted to right now, offensively and defensively. Outside of the one punt, the special teams mistake that turned into a defensive mistake for the Cleveland Browns. Both teams haven't really moved the ball offensively. Like if you look at total yardage, I think both teams haven't really nobody's had a sustained long drive. So both defenses showing up early. Just might be a defensive battle. That just might just be how this game goes. Both defenses in the top 10. All right.
It's been a long story. We're seeing why this Chargers defense has been so good. Number one scoring defense in the league so far, pitching a shutout here in Cleveland. Herbert in this offense back up the field. They begin just outside their 20. Herbert fakes the pitch. And they
Got him. Myles.
It's first sack in 4+ games for the NFL's reigning defensive player of the year. It's a loss of 6.
Well, Myles Garrett has the fastest get off in the league, but this time he gives it a little bit of a different move. This is a bull rush, and then he converts it to inside. So he goes power, and goes inside and beats.
Welcome to the league, young fella.
To get to Justin Herbert. So, again, really one of the marquee matchups here in the NFL for Myles Garrett, who has had a bit of a sack drought, has been shown to get sacked.
Good tackle by Obo.
Chargers again trying to go misdirection, but they were not fooled with Dell. And
3rd and 18.
Making the play. It's a loss of 2. Then our Joe talked about 4 straight games for Garrett without a sack. The rush numbers and the pressure rate has been off the charts.
Yeah, he's still great.
Everybody judged by sacks, but don't mistake the lack of sacks lately for impact in a game. Just as he did on that 2 plays ago, he's always a threat to get to the quarterback quickly.
And again, Myles Garrett's got him. Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett. Yeah. F your traits. F your traits.
So much for the center. And certainly Myles Garrett wrecking this Chargers offense. That takes us to the end of the first. You're watching the NFL.
F your traits. Yeah. Talk about trading a leading pressure getter. Talk about trading a leading win rush getter. Talk about trading one of the most generational players to have ever touched your franchise. Yeah, I got him. Don't worry, I got him. It's always a loser like that in chat. It's always a loser. Hey, ESPN says we should. No, Mike Tannenbaum says we shouldn't. If Mike Tannenbaum was in charge of the Browns, we'd be a fucking disaster. No cap, right? Mike Tannenbaum. We got a super chat. Myles in his bag on the series. Yes, 2 sacks. That's bag. There's bag work right there. There's bag work right there. Absolutely bag work. And that's on what? That's on Rashad Slater. That's a good tackle. Like that's a really good tackle on Rashad Slater. The O-line coach of the Chargers is telling him it's okay. Myles does that all the time. Like, what you about to do? You give him a coach point? Hey, man, reset your feet. That's not going to work versus Myles.
Two of them already in that first quarter. But what you can do on the 4th and 26, they punt from the back of their end zone. Yeah, that's tough duty.
Hey, now you might really flip field here. No penalty, no penalty, no penalty. North. Ah. Nah, 31 blew it up. Good job by him. 31 blew it up. 100 first-round picks wouldn't be enough for Myles, and you're not going to be able to find a trade for Myles Garrett that'd be worth it.
Yeah, we got to protect him.
How about your defense? What are you seeing from them that you're happy with?
I mean, we're making good drops, playing the ball well, and just keep going. Get some pressure ourselves.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Nah, he tried to go forward, but 31 was in that spot. He blew that gap up. That's a good job by the punt coverage team. That's what good punt coverage looks like, by the way. The Browns don't do that. The Chargers do a good job on punt coverage. I mean, the hardballs usually do.
Starting field position on their last time out. Winston and company this time begin at their 46.
Gap. There we go. There we go.
Exactly the drive starter that they were hoping for. Third game for Nick Chubb. Slight uptick in his production march last week. Everyone pleased with how he's looked so far as he tries to get himself back to his old form.
And again, the key is going to be, can you run the ball when they keep both of the safeties?
Way to get out there, Joe. Read it. Way to read it, Nick.
Really nice by Joe Batonio to hit that combination block and get his hand on that linebacker to give him space.
Woo.
Chubb looking for contact. We asked Kevin Stefanski about Chubb.
All right, second and what? 7? Or second and 6?
Needing to get the hard hits. I mean, it's just something you can't simulate in practice as practice arch for about 3 weeks before debuting 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, to me, I just think, psychologically speaking, you're a running back and you got guys going at your legs. Just to be able to subconsciously,
they're not giving you that one-on-one. Don't take it. There it is. There it is. Way to stay away from the candy. Way to stay away from the candy, Jameis. Look, they tried to fool him and think they're going to give him a one-on-one on the outside. You're going to see a safety kind of pull over there, but you get that space, bam, in the middle of the field. Way to see it.
At that time, just as it was last week, Winston seeing the look pre-snap, knowing exactly where he wants to go, and getting that ball out on time.
It's quarters. It's quarters. No, 3. Ah, oh, is he okay? Okay.
Ford just able to fall on him. Easiest tackle he'll make today. How about some notable running backs coming back from devastating knee injuries with the ACL? Of course, AP, that incredible 2016 season, one of the all-time years by a running back.
Well, and also you look at as it pertains here with Chubb. You know, this offensive line that typically over the last couple of years, especially in Chubb's career, has been pretty intact and has enjoyed some pretty good health. There's been a lot of different mixing and matching and different styles of offense, quarterback, a lot of pieces that have to get put together.
There you go. There you go. Way to close the gap there. All right, 3rd and short. Well, not 3rd and short, but 3rd and what, 5?
As they get 7 of those yards back. Bryce now starting to go tempo. Winston's going to work from the gun on the 3rd and 4 and put the pressure on the Chargers.
Chargers use their second timeout of the half.
So just that change in tempo, making a little bit of havoc with the defense. Second charge timeout for the Chargers.
Thank you, Thorn J, with a $10 super chat. Appreciate that.
It's from Walmart.
Oh, they doing a little half commercial thing. That Viv? Was that Viv in the commercial? I mean, not Viv. Was that Will's mom from the original Fresh Prince? You know, this is something to note. The Browns, this is the first real sustained drive with the game from both offenses. If the Browns can sustain this drive and hopefully turn it into a touchdown, it'd be a big deal.
Jameis Winston going up tempo a little bit. Chargers weren't quite ready with their personnel. They had to use the timeout.
Yeah. Really nice job of using that tempo.
Hey, it might be go for it territory.
Third down offense that was historically bad for 6-7 weeks.
You got hella time on the clock here. You good?
Show pulse here of late.
What are they gonna check to? You got time to see it.
In the position on third and four.
Just run for it. Got it. Good job. Good job, James. All right, so there you go. First few drives, Jameis looked like he was pressing, like he was just overly excited. He's calmed down a little bit on this one.
He's coming with contain, and then on the other side, Joey Bosa, number 97, he goes in. And so Jameis,
Yeah, they blew contain there.
That Bosa had given up the edge. Snaps last week, stayed inside the pocket, is able to pick up a huge first down.
It's only the 14th red zone drive of the season for this team. He was the big team in the NFL. Winston
Throw it out of bounds. Oh,
Check
what's the flag?
the flag. Forced it to bounce right at the 10-yard line.
It's gonna be a hold
It's a pickup
on
of
them.
7 if it stands, and this one could be against the Chargers.
Hold on them. Penalties decline. No. Accept the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Set the penalty.
And that's all because of the pressure of time. It is really difficult. The Chargers, again, playing a lot of zone coverage. Really difficult to be able to cover this long. It's a 4
Correction.
See how many times.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say they're gonna accept the penalty. It's 1st and 5. It was a 5-yard game.
But what the Chargers are really doing a great job of it this game.
Yep, right there.
is taking away the first and sometimes second.
Way to work back to the ball, Jerry.
Last week, Winston threw the ball on time. Number 1 wasn't there. He quickly got it out for number 2. But there haven't been a lot of second and third options for Winston today in the pass game.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Back to the ground game here.
All right, be 2nd and 5.
Tackled by Henley, the second-year linebacker. As we move inside the 11-minute mark in this first half. Second straight start for Jameis Winston. There's Kevin Stefanski. He doesn't have that usual play sheet in his hands. We asked him how different it felt for him last week with Ken Dorsey.
2nd and 5.
He said, it's not looking at that play sheet, keeping my head up a little bit more of a global perspective, trying to keep tabs on the other parts of his team. What does Ken Dorsey dial up here on 2nd and 10?
Why is it 2nd and 10?
Winston from the gun, rolling, looking, bacon.
Oh my God! He almost came down for it. Again, I say it all the time. Jameis gonna give all 22 a chance to make a play.
One more time, it just looks like he's going to his left, and watch the Njoku right here.
Yeah, just stay in there. Sit.
And again, Winston did a really nice job.
They're
coming to
doing
the
a good
fence
job.
last week. Now they get to a scramble drill situation, but again, the Charger secondary really has done a phenomenal.
Charger secondary is holding up, man.
They're making it really tough for Winston to throw the football. You would love, with that kind of coverage, to get more sack and pressure production up front.
That's fine.
So Kevin Stefanski going to take his first charge timeout. We asked Jesse Minter about a lot.
Yeah, is it 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 10? I thought they took the penalty and took the 1st and 5. They didn't lose 5 yards on that run, did they?
To the table, Molden.
Where are the sticks? Show me the wide. Why are they at 3rd and 10?
But one of a number of new pieces Archie they've had with this defense.
Yes, and Christian Fulton, both Molden and Tier Tart, they come over from Tennessee, and really, Christian Fulton, we did a lot of Tennessee games. He struggled last year. He has been a completely different player in this defense. He has been exceptional. And even Elijah Molden, They have gotten the best out of both of those defensive backs from Tennessee. And again, playing with two corners that are rookie, that are late round draft picks. Again,
No, it's actually 3rd and 10. That's where the marker is.
And big plays.
Mind the gain is the 3. Winston. Here they come. Winston.
All right, yeah, just kick the field goal. That's fine.
He's been doing it for a long time. 3rd.
Get the points there. It's going to be a low-scoring game. The field goal matters.
Look how wide. You got Mack here, and then Fox, this wide blitz up inside. And we mentioned how Khalil Mack, he's the pressure leader by far.
They're covering really good right now. And the Chargers is playing good defense right now.
Right there, gets the sack at the right time.
Let's make it.
38-yard field goal attempt here for Dustin Hopkins, the 11th year.
Don't overthink it. Just kick it going.
Lowest field goal percentage
Got it.
of his career to this point. But
There you go.
Hopkins, perfect here from 3rd.
All right, so first long drive of the game belongs to the Cleveland Browns offense. I think that's an important thing to talk about. Chargers defense, they're playing well. They're holding up in the secondary really well. They're playing some really solid zone coverage on the back end. And they're getting some decent pressure on the line of scrimmage. So they're playing pretty good football defensively. The Browns able to find some success there. So it's no joke. Like, the Chargers defense is just better than Baltimore's. Like, it just is what it is. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. All right, we back. We back.
Votes is a league-wide nonpartisan initiative that supports and encourages civic engagement among the entire NFL family. For more information on NFL votes and to make your voter game plan for the upcoming election, please visit NFL.com/votes.
All right, the game begins when both teams score. Both teams have scored now. Now the game begins.
Second quarter, through these producer Jason Ross, Mark Grant, our director.
That's the drop.
With us, week 9 from Cleveland. Hopkins moves it away. This one through the end zone and a touchback. First, we wondered what Cleveland's defense would look like without their leading tackler, Owusu Koramoah, for the next 4 weeks. So far, so good.
Well, they have been excellent, really. It starts with knocking out the run game. Chargers only 8 yards rushing, and then it's pressure. The Browns have a 60.
I don't love how much we're putting the defense out there. So I love that we got a long, sustained drive because I felt like we're putting the defense out there too much. The linebackers that we have, I mean, like, I worry about that lasting all game, you know?
Myles
Garrett, if you just done with his 2 sacks in the first quarter alone.
Ooh, going for a third. He has a third.
Justin
Wow. Wow.
This time they put Garrett on the other side.
Wow. Just welcome Joe Alt to the NFL. Just gets under his chest and overpowers him and just pushes him. Joe Alt's never been pushed like that in his life.
Myles Garrett in every single season has always had that
Well,
where he can just explode and get 3, 4, 5 sacks. This could be that game for him.
Fourth sack to Herbert.
all right, 3rd and 5.
March this offensive line for the Chargers starting to come into form, but boy, they got something to figure out here. Let's check in with Aditi about this Cleveland defense.
Spiro, I was with the Browns through the preseason, and I can tell you Jim Schwartz was as frustrated as could be because of the health of his unit. And he told us a few weeks ago, the preseason is when you're supposed to figure out the identity of your defense and what's going to fit them. He said he hasn't been able to do that. Well, the last 2 weeks, he has been able to do that. And even the JMKL, the team on take, we'll talk about later in this game, that's really stepped up and taken to wearing the headset helmet.
And the Abate, second-year player stepping into some big shoes.
Come on. Another bust? And it's those two again?
The second gigantic breakdown for Cleveland's defense on the back end, and Herbert cash money. For the
That's ridiculous.
66 yard streak. This is not inexcusable. Right now, if you're Jim Schwartz, they have one safety going to the middle, and
Who's dropping back? Who's dropping back? What is going on? This is elementary stuff. Y'all got to get that figured the fuck
they're
out.
in that deep third. So twice now on 3rd and long, a catastrophic mistake from this secondary.
Or you give Justin Herbert
Missed extra
those
point.
opportunities, he will rarely miss. And speaking of miss, the point after by Decker, pump to the left. So this thing is going to stay a 10-point game. Damn.
Every time we play the Chargers, our secondary just forgets how to play zone. I swear to God. I swear to God, every time we play the Chargers, our secondary just forgets how to play zone. This is not the first time. It's like the 3rd time this has happened, man. Every time we play the Chargers. Like, it's specifically that mix-up between what coverage are we in between the safety and corner. I don't get it. It might have been Greg was supposed to be the deep man. Like, I don't know what defensive coverage they were in. It could be a number of things. It could be Denzel messing up. It could be Juan. It could be Juan and Denzel messing up. But clearly something isn't being communicated. That's the 2nd time in that defense that they've had that happen. And it always happens against the damn Chargers for whatever reason. Always. Yep, gotta score. Gotta score. And a basic Tampa 2. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was cover 2. It didn't look like cover 2. And again, you can have split field coverages. So, yeah, I don't. We don't know what defense it was. The people spamming cover 2 in chat, and we don't know. But something's going on there. I think they're supposed to be in 3 or cover 6 or some kind of variation of it. And they do a motion. Like, this is probably being triggered because they're doing a motion that changes up the coverage rules and it creates that confusion. But they got to get that locked down. They got to get that locked down. All right, offense, going to have to show up. Who said I'm making up coverages? Do you not know what cover 6 is? You don't know what a split field coverage is? Like, yeah, cover 6. It's 4 on one side. It's 2 on the. It's in Madden. This is not like a high level concept. Yeah. Or you can run a shell that looks like cover 2, but then you roll into cover 3. You have a safety box out. Like, there's a ton of different ways you can run defensive coverage. It's not just cover 2, cover 1 man. It's probably some kind of combo coverage. Myles up here getting 2 sacks a series, and the DBs can't hold up.
Wicked activities. Meanwhile, the Browns breakout receiver Cedric Tillman spent the day at Apex Academy making slime with 6th graders.
Love to see it. Great job by both franchises. Getting out into the community. Holidays just around the corner. Trying to uplift. Speaking of uplift, Jameis Winston pushed all the right buttons last week. Boy, they pick up the blitz.
Run.
Winston's going to run.
Yep.
You saw his light flash before his eyes. Denzel Perriman was coming. Heavy Nick Chubb. Huge blitz pickup. Let's get our first NFL Today update. To New York.
All right, we have the Ravens answer back against the Broncos. Lamar all the time in the pocket, making it look easy. Buys a little bit more time, moves to the right, and hits the same flowers for the touchdown. 17-7.
Gotta catch that.
Cleveland fans keeping tabs on Ravens as Winston's pass near side for Elijah Moore is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 6. It's just that part of the game right now where Cleveland's offense sputtering a little bit, desperately looking for something here as we play stages in the second quarter.
Yeah, dangerous, and especially now.
2 tight ends. We're in 12.
One-dimensional all game. You see they're 0 for 3 on their 3rd down passing. That was so good last week. This offense seemed to always have an answer against the Ravens, but right now they're not even doing the simple things better like they did a week ago.
Flags fly. Could be a free play. Winston completes.
There you go.
Tillman finding a
All right.
spot. I will check the flag. I think they're going to pick up a 19 if it sticks.
He might get Judy on a procedure. He might have been going toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
It feels like it's coming back. Yep.
Over, it is indeed Judy, and it wipes away a 19-yard first down
And he
completion.
comes over in motion, and watch as he starts going toward the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. That's what they give.
That's a bad penalty call. That's a bad penalty. That's a bad. You shouldn't throw that flag there. That's a bad one.
Everybody was in the right place. Winston seemed to be one step ahead of the defense. And today, it just seems like the details, the route details, and even some of the throw details, just not where it was.
Winston protecting here on 3rd and 11. Pocket buttons. Winston going down again. 2nd sack for Morgan Fox. And number 4.
Yeah, they're just holding up way better in that back end than Baltimore did. We get the reverse angle probably. But they're holding up really well. They're letting that pressure get home.
Well, this has been the story of the game.
Look here. Look at the coverage here. 3-quarter right there. Pick up right there. I mean, I think he might have had Cedric Tillman, but I don't know what his window looked like.
I've been saying it. They've been so good at coverage. Now that allows that rush to finally get home.
Their defense is outplaying our defense, and right now it's a defensive battle, so they're winning the game. That's been the difference. 2 busted coverages.
Short field to work right outside their own 40-yard line. 6 on the return.
Defense going to have to make a play. This is a defensive battle right now. The Browns defense has made way more mistakes than the Chargers defense has. That's just what it is. This is the kind of game it's going to be. Our defense has made more mistakes than theirs. We gotta get some plays back. Get some plays back. That's it. Well, I mean, it's easier to be decisive when the coverage just isn't good. He's not trying to throw an interception into the middle of the field. The coverage has been really good for the Chargers. I mean, this isn't just about Jameis Winston executing or not. This is also like, hey, the Chargers are probably the best secondary the Cleveland Browns have faced. They've done this to a lot of teams. They're holding up quite well. And it's a defensive battle, and right now the Chargers defense is playing better than the Browns defense. This is where it's at. Browns defense has made a couple of critical mistakes. The Chargers defense has avoided that. They haven't had a busted coverage all game. We've had two. Now, the Chargers did get the ball to start half here, so the Browns do get a possession to start the game, to start the half and second half. So they get a stop here. They can score. Obviously, the game flips. So right now, Browns defense, 2 mistakes. Chargers defense, no mistakes. That's the difference. This game should be what? 3-3? Should really be 3-3.
Score 10-point. Chargers lead their defense, picking up where they have left off. Number 1 scoring defense in the league. This has basically been a microcosm march of the season. Offense, pretty good. Defense, really good for the Chargers.
Yes, they have made life awfully difficult. Stuffing the run, and there's nowhere for Winston to throw the football.
So Justin Herbert and company begin right at the 46 and change left. They got 1 timeout as they give it here to Dobbins, who's been quiet so far. Justin Herbert has had 5 straight completions.
Only person to blame for all of this is Juan Thornhill. I don't even know if it's Juan's fault. I don't know whose fault it is between Juan and Denzel, to be honest with you. And I don't think anybody really knows right now, like without looking at the all-22 and knowing kind of what the coverage tendencies are when the Browns do something. That's going to take research to find out. Anybody screaming at the top of their lungs right now that they know the problem, they don't know the problem. They're just lying. They're just saying something. But it's clearly those two are having an issue. Right there. Hey, man, I got to give credit where credit's due. Devin Bush has played well. Big third down here.
Play action. Again, a lot of it was getting the ball out quickly to try and protect it. In the last 2 games, his time to throw, he's held the ball more than he has the entire season. Last week, it was over 3.4 seconds. Today, they're not getting that kind of protection. Myles Garrett this front are having a great performance. They've just broken down in the back end of their secondary.
Greg Roman, 30 years of NFL experience to bank on Herbert for a second goal. Johnston spins his way up the sideline. They pick up 21 as Herbert once again.
Denzel Ward just completely missed the tackle there. Like, he does not look like himself
I
right
see this very often on 3rd and medium. Denzel Ward giving a
now. And then Juan Thornhill flat-footed. I think it's both of them playing badly, to be honest with you. I don't think it's one or the other.
give it to wide receivers. He's among the best in the National Football League. But on 3rd and medium, you have to be much
Your feet has to be wet, not flat like that.
Some big plays. You can't play conservative brand of football in the secondary.
Was a big drive for this Cleveland defense, trying to keep this thing close. Herbert slinging it over the middle, complete. Another first down. Lad McConkey finally brought down by Winston Reed. They pick up 20 more as we go downstairs to Medini.
Spiro, we just heard Arch talk about the way Denzel Ward is playing right now. Let's not forget that this week he missed a little bit of practice as he was going through the concussion protocol. I can tell you on the sideline after that last drive, the entire secondary gathered, and Rodney McLeod, the veteran safety, kept reminding everyone, look each other in the eye, communicate. This is a group that is together but needs to communicate better.
A lot of people at Medini were stunned that Ward strapped it on the play. Here's Timmons. He's got the same.
Gotta score. Gotta score before half. Gotta get a touchdown. Gotta get a touchdown before half.
While the play action opens up the run game, and here
Yeah, I was worried. You keep putting these linebackers out there. Eventually, you're going to start getting exposed in the run game. We're just giving them way too many possessions offensively. And boom, they cleared out all the linebackers there. Yeah. Got to score now.
J.K. Dobbins, 17th career rushing touchdown, his 5th.
Missed another one? No, he almost did.
Multiple significant injuries that he's trying to work his way back.
Got to get him off the field on that 3rd and 6 where you get there.
Back in 30 seconds after this from AT&T.
I have a surprise for you.
Got to get something here. I mean, you get the ball. If you get a touchdown here, you get the ball back after half. You can bring this thing back within 1 score with a field goal. So you can get a 2-possession buff here. It's just you got to score now. Right now, it's a defensive battle. Our defense is losing that battle.
Back with you, 20-3, Chargers in front. With 3:30 to play, J.K. Dobbins on that long touchdown run. They have opened up a 17-point lead. And Orange, those good vibes that you just talked about from Cleveland from last week are already in distant memory.
Yes. Hey, look, credit the Charger defense. You know, they've shown up. They've been ready to play. They have taken away. Now, Nick Chubb has not been a factor. This run game has not been a factor. And they have taken away everything downfield for Jameis Winston.
A little bit of a bobble there by Jerome Ford. And the Browns going to get it after the touchback. A reminder to stay tuned. Stay tuned. The Verizon halftime report comes your way next. Get you to New York. JB, Nate, Matt Ryan, and Coach Cowher will get you caught up around the league. Well, this 9th Sunday of the NFL season is on the come on the Verizon halftime report. Browns are going to have the football to begin the second half, so that looms large. So the question now is, can Jameis get this Cleveland offense recalibrated?
Well, they have to figure out something because when you look at their production, and again, they have had to work extra hard for every single yard that they've gotten. And again, credit the Chargers.
Safety coming down.
They've given up nothing.
This is Jerome.
They played these run lanes excellent. Like the Chargers are playing excellent defense right now.
What do you see today so far from Winston?
Well, you haven't seen a lot of decisiveness. Again, credit the Charger defense. You see that last play to Njoku. You saw excellent contact.
Yeah, Zero been all over the field. Herbert 3rd down against the Browns is a cheat code.
What the receivers are doing, combined with the first and second option being taken away, has been the difference.
Winston, the AFC's offensive player of the week. After what he did against the
No,
Browns,
don't get back up.
Judy here. Tarheeb Still, the other rookie corner, was right there to pick up of 7 to set him up with a 3rd and 4 with that clock running 2 change.
That you would love, even though that they played pretty well, you would love if you're this offense to try to take advantage and make the rookies show that they can in fact hold up in a game one-on-one. But in order to do that and open up your offense, you've got to extend drives. 1 for 6 on 3rd down. It is not going to cut it. They need to find a way to put some drives together.
Got Jerry Jeudy. You have Jerry Jeudy. Jesus. That was just bad. Every throw we play to the Chargers, the DF backs up. What? The DF backs to this? He had Jerry Jeudy right there underneath. Just throw it underneath right there. He doesn't do that. He holds it. No, Jerry Judy's open. And then he gets loose here. And then he tries to go back across his body. You just can't have that. It's got to make the smart decision there, Jameis. Good punt. That's a great punt. All right, defense needs to get it back here. Yeah, we're getting wacky Jameis today. We're just getting wacky Jameis today. And even if you throw it to Judy and he's not there, you're probably going to be in a sneaky situation on 4th and 1 if you don't get it. So I would have just throw the under, right? Throw the under and let Jerry Judy work. We're getting wacky Jameis today. It's almost like Hairball's team knows what play is coming. No, they're just playing good defense. It's not like they know what's coming. They're just reacting well to what they see. This is what a good defense looks like. They're playing well in zone. They're communicating with each other. They're holding up. If they get caught or confused, they're doing a good job of roboting. Like, they're just a good defense right now. We need the defense. We need the Browns defense to make some plays here. Right? Offense is getting shut down by a superior unit. The defense there is really good. Okay, we need the defense to start creating some points here. I doubt they're going to throw it, right? They're going to probably just run this thing up the middle. But if they do play action, a strip sack would be great. It was a joke because of what happened at Michigan. Oh, okay. You're talking about the whole scandal about knowing the signs.
Get on almost anything for game day. And by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Beautiful sunshine, 60 degrees. What a day out on the lake. So starting field position here. So keep your eye on the score. 156. Cleveland has 2 timeouts. If they can force them here with 3 and out, use those timeouts, potentially get it back, give your offense a chance here. With Dobbins just barely the line of scrimmage.
Yes, this is an opportunity for the Cleveland Browns to use those timeouts, but they've got to find a way to get stopped. If they're able to, right now, forcing it and keeping it to a 3rd and long, and then make the Chargers make a decision. If we're in 3rd and long, do we throw the ball or do we run the ball? And then you can make a tackle and set up your offense around midfield with a chance to get points going into halftime. But this next play is critical for the Cleveland Browns if they want to try to make something happen here at the end of the half.
4th career game with at least 3 sacks for Garrett, or just make it up for lost time.
It's almost inevitable that, well, really, when you look at all the great pass rushers, when you look at Watt, Garrett, Max Crosby, all of those guys are usually, not only are they capable, but usually they have one of those games where they get 3 or 4 sacks in a game to get those high numbers.
Herbert on 2nd and 9 from his end zone. Protected. Herbert, boy, feeling the pressure. Just barely.
Good tackle, Juan.
Gets it to his tight end, Eric Tomlinson. But boy, they were breathing down his neck. They pick up to Dalvin Tomlinson right up the gut to get to Herbert.
Yeah, and did the clock stop? This was a really nice pass rush inside, and I thought they did a really good job of getting into Herbert's face. Good blitz. How he gets it out there.
Yeah, it stopped the clock. Good tackle, Juan.
The Browns a break and not having to use their timeout by making that tackle out of bounds. Now it's 3rd and 7, and I think if you're the Chargers, you've got to make sure that you pick this up or get some time off the clock.
Herbert it's Palmer. Herbert, cash money, pinpoint passing. A pickup of 26.
Now, this is so elite. This connection, Palmer against Emerson, and to be able to put this ball exactly right there on the sideline.
That's a good ball. Yeah, that's just a good ball.
Get any better than that. And 3rd down in this game has been all Justin Herbert.
10 completions in a row for Herbert. Over the middle, make it 11 straight.
Are they going to try to score here?
Since Hayden Hurst back in the lineup today after missing the last 2 weeks with a groin injury. Clock running under 90 seconds. And now the Chargers have that timeout. Still in their bed.
Besides you, Quincy, keep up the good work. Appreciate that.
Rush here over the middle. It's Dobbins on first down completion.
I mean, if you're the Cleveland Browns right now, you just have to be beside yourself. If you're Stefanski and Jim Schwartz, it's been breakdown on third down, and you have a chance right there. And deep for the Chargers, you give up another big play.
But now suddenly they potentially could be giving up more points here before the end of the half. As Herbert run out of bounds, going to lose a couple of yards there. 52 seconds, that stops the clock, and the Chargers still have that timeout. They lose 3. Keep in mind, Cameron Dicker has now missed multiple extra points. His field goal percentage has been excellent this season. 5th best in the league as they try to get
Second
into
and
position
13.
for their kicker.
So you mentioned all the completions in a row. Right now, Justin Herbert, 13 of 15, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty efficient day throwing the football in one half.
And he's completed 11 straight passes. Where does he go here for 2nd and 13? Herbert climbs the pocket. Herbert, set again.
Who got him?
Tomlinson.
Is he okay?
Herbert a little bit late to get to his feet. It's the 6th sack for the Browns.
You get great presence on the outside from Zadarius Smith, and that makes Herbert. That's not a good look, getting folded, almost folded in half right there. But that makes Herbert step it up, and then you get that inside twist to finish it off. But a 3rd and 22, usually pretty good, but not today for the Browns defense.
Well, you saw the grimace of pain. Dobbins up the gut, trying to get some of that sack yardage
All right.
back. Is going to bring one down to
All right, well, at least you didn't give up points on that last possession. Now you're down 17. It's going to be a long climb back. I mean, Chargers going to have to make some mistakes for you to come back into this game. They're not going to kick. They're not going to kick a field goal from here, are they?
halftime report. JB Nate, Matt Ryan.
Are they going to try to kick a 60-yarder?
Halftime report.
This is like a 67-yard field goal outdoors. There's no way, right? They're going to throw this thing. It's going to be like a Hail Mary, right?
So 2 seconds. As the Chargers taking that final timeout.
Little Jaden Daniels magic right here for the Chargers, perhaps. You know, Herbert's got the arm.
And they don't have to time out to kill the runoff. Oh, no, it's not holding. The holding gets the runoff.
It's a tough set of circumstances for a rookie arch facing down this defensive front, and Myles Garrett, all part of the growing process for a first-year tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, but, you know, he worked on Myles Garrett, worked on Slater for 2 of his sacks, and then he goes over to the other side. So both tackles have got a nice dose of number 95.
So 2 seconds. So kind of shot Herbert gets used, going to go underneath to Johnston. Johnston slips the initial tackle across the field.
It doesn't matter how many yards he gets.
A little pitch here. This is Palmer. Now coming back to close to field. Palmer pitches. McConkey laterals. And then Dobbins is run out of bounds. But made it a little bit interesting as that takes us to the end of the first half.
They're going to need one hell of a second half to win this game. You're going to need the best second half you've had all season to win this game. You're going to need the offense to make some plays. You're going to need the Chargers to fuck up a little bit. And you're going to need the defense to make some plays. It's going to have to be a team effort. Going to have to play cohesive football to win this game. It's not impossible. You're only down 17. You get the ball back to start the half. It's definitely not impossible. But you can come back from this. You just got to play some really solid football here in the second half, much more than you have in the first half. This first half, I mean, you've given up multiple coverage busts, right? I think at most the score should be 10-3. You gave up multiple coverage busts here, an inexcusable amount of coverage busts. Offensively, you haven't been able to get anything really going. Run game, pass game, just nothing there. And like that's more excusable than what the defense has done. The defense gave up points, a lot of points because of incompetence. I don't think the offense is leaving points on the table because they're incompetent. I just think that the Chargers are playing one hell of a game defensively. So I can understand why the offense isn't putting up that many points right now. But the defense allowing 20 in the first half, the way they allowed 20 in the first half, I think is a big problem, right? Like that's not good. That's the main problem here, right? Special teams also contributed to some of those points as well, but the defense had the coverage bust. They had a 3rd and 22, right? They should have gotten off the field. Both times they've given up a touchdown. Both of them have been 3rd and long situations. They should have got off the field, both of them, and forced a very long field goal. And who even knows that the Chargers make those field goals because their field goal kicker missed the extra point. Still come back in this game, but you got to play cohesive football for the rest of this game. Defense, offense, you're going to need the Chargers to fuck up. It's going to have to be what happens. So people still trying to make it. Hey, man, why are people like pointing at this half? You're like, oh, see, it wasn't Watson's fault. But like we saw 7 weeks of Deshaun Watson playing like ass. Like, come on, man. Give it up. Watson sucked. He sucked this year. Objectively sucked. Like, Jameis is right now, he's playing a defense that's covering guys. Watson looked this bad against defenses that didn't cover people. Like, that's it. It's only a 17-point lead. You can come back from 17 points. The Browns have come back against 17 points before with a backup quarterback. Yeah, this is the thing I hate about some Browns fans. The Browns fans who like they get in the chat and they almost seem like they're happy that the Browns are losing because they get to look like a smart person for a couple of seconds. I hate Browns fans like that. Like, why are you happy the team's losing? Because you look right? It's stupid. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you're probably an annoying person to be around in real life. Like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Some Browns fans just kind of, I don't even know if they're Browns fans. I just think they're fans of themselves. But yeah, that's what the Browns need to come back from this. I'll be right back. I'm going to take my halftime break. One of the funniest things I see in chat is like people like trying to argue, oh, well, look, Jameis Winston doesn't look good. Deshaun didn't look good. So y'all were too mean on Deshaun Watson. Do you realize what you're saying when you say that? That you're saying, hey, the offense should look the same when a backup is in there as when Deshaun is. Like, you're kind of giving up the game when you say stuff like that. Because what you're saying basically is that you have the same expectations for Jameis Winston as you do for Deshaun Watson. Now, Jameis Winston makes $8 million a year if he hits his incentives. Deshaun Watson makes $46 a year. And you're arguing that fans hold Jameis to the same standard that they're holding Deshaun Watson to. One guy was supposed to be the franchise quarterback. The other guy is just supposed to be the backup. And yet, you're making an argument that, hey, look, Jameis doesn't look worse than Deshaun. He just looks the same as Deshaun, so I wasn't wrong. But, like, that argument alone admits that you're wrong. Because Deshaun has underwhelmed so poorly that you're out here like, yeah, see, he's arguably just as good as Jameis. That's where you're at. That's where you're at. Browns only down by 17 points, y'all. They get the ball at the half. They play some good defense. The Chargers make a couple mistakes. The Browns capitalize on it. They can be right back in this game. I know whenever the Browns go down by double digits, it brings out the loser brigade, right? And all the losers come out and they start saying all this loser shit in chat. But let's be real. Talking about tanking. Tanking's never worked. Like, we're not coming back. We can't come back. Why not? Why can't the Browns come back? It's just negativity for negativity's sake. What's the point in calling the game over before it's over? I've never understood that. I've always been somebody, no matter what challenge I face in life, I like to fight until I know I can't win no more. And I'm not going to give up until I can't win no more. I think that's how most successful people want to live life, is fighting until they can't win no more. Not fighting until the odds don't look good. Some of y'all, the second the odds don't look great, y'all just fold. That's sad. Got to stand up stronger than that. Games can change. Momentum can change. The Browns can score a touchdown coming out of half that changes the momentum. Justin Herbert can throw an interception that changes the momentum. It's not over just because you're down. If that were the case, then the game wouldn't have 2 more quarters to play. We blamed Watson and thought we were going to go 11-6. No, we blamed Watson because he didn't throw for over 200 yards and Jameis played in one game and got over 200 yards. Because Watson was terrible. You can't rewrite that history. In 2024, Watson was not just bad, he was historically bad. And he got outperformed in one game by his backup. This is supposed to be a superstar quarterback. He got outperformed by a backup quarterback. There's no pride in jumping for Watson right now. What are you doing? You sound like an absolute loser right now. Yeah, the Chargers are playing complimentary football. The Browns need to come back in the second half and do the same thing. At the end of the day, the Chargers are a 4-4 team. They've had halves like this. They've had worse halves, right? They're playing a really good half of football, but they have not put a lot of complete games together. This is not an undefeated juggernaut that you're playing. This is a 500 football team. Keep in mind, you just beat a team that's number 1 in the AFC right now. So that is what it is. Chargers offense outside of those 2 blown coverage have done nothing. So if the offense can get it together, we can win this game. That's a big if, though. Chargers defense been playing really well.
Most of those yards
Really well.
have come on those 3 big plays, especially the 2 long touchdown passes by Herbert. So 20-3, Jameis Winston and company will have it to begin the second half. All the good vibes, all those positive storylines after their win over the Ravens last week. It's all in the rearview mirror now. Can they somehow generate some offense and get themselves back into this game? Chargers 4-3, big bounce back win for them last week against the Saints after that disheartening last-second loss a couple weeks ago to the Cardinals as they look for their 5th win of the season. A couple of seconds ago, Aditi with Kevin Stefanski.
Your defense, the pass rush has obviously been great, but the back end of the defense, what did you address in halftime regarding that?
Yeah, we had some miscommunications, and that's really that's unacceptable. We need to play our style of football, offense, defense, special teams.
Okay, when you mention the offense, 3rd down especially, what's going on with Jameis, and how can you help the offense? You have the ball here.
Yeah, we need to stay on the field. This is a big drive for us coming out of here with the ball. We got to just go be ourselves for one play at a time, but it really comes down to the play.
Should we take a linebacker position more seriously? I think you need to go out and get one.
Teammates in the first half and that back end communication, what Kevin just mentioned.
Just run.
This is Winston on 1. There's a flag thrown in the offensive backfield. We'll see if this was.
See, Jameis, what we liked about what Jameis was doing last week, he was staying in the pocket. He was, and there's a hold there. What we liked about what Jameis was doing last week, he was staying in the pocket. He was staying tall. He was taking advantage of what was happening in time. Right now, he's starting to panic. He's running outside the pocket. He's doing all this other stuff. He's got to calm down a bit, right? Like, it's been like this all game for him. He's just been frazzled here. That's a bad holding call, by the way. And then you get a hold right to start this drive. Now you're in 1st and 20.
They're playing zone coverage on almost 100% of their defensive snaps in the passing game. And the Browns have not been able to manipulate or move any of the underneath zone defenders, and that's been the difference.
Winston's leading it for set.
Good play, Cedric. Way to get it back into normal downs. All right, 2nd and 9 now.
Pick up 12.
2nd and 8.
Derwin James had a chance to visit with him this week, as we did with Jesse Minter, and you couldn't wipe the smile off his face, Arch. So much talk about how he was utilized in their defense the last couple of years with Brandon Staley. He's been sensational.
Yeah, I didn't love the way they used him.
Stay tall, stay tall.
Defense, but I think getting him more inside the box.
Good run.
To play more like a linebacker and let him specialize a little bit. I just thought.
Okay, 3rd and short.
Him too thin, and it's kind of misleading because he's a guy that has such a great skill set. You say to yourself, well, we want to use him here, we want to use him there, but you never let him really settle in and master what he does best. I love the way they're using him, but I just think in general, all 11 players are so much more dialed in this season to what we've seen here in the past.
Number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, limiting their opponents to under 13 points per game. Was a big play right here. 3rd and a yard.
Good run.
First down.
Good run, Chubb.
Nick Chubb, 3rd game since returning from that devastating left knee injury. It's a 1 of 4 and a big play for this Cleveland offense. So this Chargers defense, major headline arch for this team to the first.
They're playing at a hell of a high level. I mean, look at those numbers.
Obviously, are vastly improved. But really, you just see there's less breakdowns. There's less breakdowns in critical moments. And again, it just seems like everybody is playing fast and much more sound than what we've seen.
Here's Chubb trying to slip that initial tackle, picks up
2nd and 8.
Tackled there by Denzel Perriman. Aditi.
Ron, I was so struck yesterday.
Yeah, Zero been all over the field for the Chargers.
10 minutes, and when I called him on it, he said,
They're making everything hard. Every time the Browns want to get like 5 yards or something, it's just so difficult right now.
And the bond with Jesse Minter started very early. He was one of the first players to go in to sit with Minter. Minter said right then he realized this was a special human being.
Winston on 2nd and 7.
Got it. There it is.
Where they find that little soft spot. Jordan Akins all by himself. It's a pickup of 21.
He was a little late to it.
Maybe the biggest play of the day for this Cleveland offense.
And much needed. And what they do is they pull the underneath defender who's supposed to get in that spot, and that's where Akins is able to get in behind. They have been trying to go in the intermediate part, in the middle part of the field, and they haven't been able to move the linebackers. In my opinion, they have to start working more outside the numbers and try to get one-on-ones outside the numbers on the cornerbacks.
Browns go back to the ground game here with Chubb.
Yeah, the ground game ain't working today.
That's going to set them up with a 2nd and 9.
They're winning on that one.
First meeting between Derwin James and Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter told us, I didn't want to have any predisposed notions. Didn't talk to anyone about Derwin James, who he was as a player. I wanted to learn for myself. And as Stevie just alluded to, deep conversations that those two have had. Just couldn't say enough good things about Derwin James, Khalil Mack, all the headliners in this Chargers defense. But suddenly they're playing on their back foot here. Can Cleveland continue with their momentum over the middle? Winston delivers.
Okay, 3rd and short.
It's Njoku again. He's brought down right after the catch at the Chargers 30. It's a pickup of 5. And another big 3rd down coming up.
Yep, and again, they're going to have to try to figure out a way to execute. Again, you're seeing almost exclusive zone coverage. Now, when you get these 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 situations, a little bit more difficult to play zone because there's so many holes in the underneath coverage. But Winston is going to have to get the ball out quickly on his first read.
Got it, Utter. Got it. There you go.
Picture perfect pass. It's Judy. They move the sticks again. Tackle down to 15.
There you go.
March, what are they doing differently? What have they changed here with Ken Dorsey, the play calling and execution of this drive?
I think it starts with just being able to pick up your first down and just try to get some sort of flow into the offense. I believe it's going to be difficult not being able to run the football to manipulate the underneath linebackers and the underneath coverage. But right now, they've done a good job of getting the linebackers and secondary to bite up on the shallow route and then hit the intermediate route right behind them in zone coverage.
Winston giving to Chubb, and he is forced down right after the take by Tui Pulotu. Almost took the hand off from Winston. He was in the backfield so quickly.
I believe.
Well, he gave Chubb a lot of carries so far.
Khalil Mack gets a lot of attention. Bosa gets a lot of attention and a lot of hype. But really, it's been a workman-like front. I just think the front four have done such a good job of occupying linemen. And so often you see Perryman or Henley make a tackle unblocked at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. That's because of the job
it's 5 yards.
Have done all season and especially this game. That's a long fraction. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still second out.
It's Joey Bosa, who returned last week from that 3-game absence. He played 20 snaps in that game against the Saints. And he is whistled here. Came across prematurely. But Didi updating us from the Chargers sideline. Jasir Taylor is questionable to return. One of their frontline DBs is dealing with a fibula injury in his leg. Remember, he missed a couple of games.
They're back in quarter.
Can't say if the two are related. This is Chubb trying to bounce to the edge.
Stays on his feet. Gets it to about 3rd and 1.
It's an NFL collision right there. 3rd down coming up for the Browns.
But again, though, because you just watch it, both of these safeties are playing high. They are taking care of the run
With the front
these 6
7.
defenders.
Yeah,
And
look at
is
that.
so difficult
0, man. 0 has been kicking our ass.
with 6 defenders.
Good run.
Chubb
North.
looking for-
Oh, that's short.
I don't think he got it. Boy, he was right there.
Sneak it. Sneak it.
Just tremendous pursuit. Henley among the tacklers for the Chargers. 4th and short. Stefanski keeping his offense on the field. No hesitation.
Yeah, I don't believe in this situation. You've done a really nice job of running some time off of this clock. You're down by 17 points.
Michael Dunn's eligible.
Try to find a way to get 6 or 7 out of this drive and at least make Herbert go the length of the field.
4th and short. Jerome Ford onto the field. 12th play of the drive for Cleveland that began at their own 30. Winston, the keeper.
Second effort got it.
Push. Did he get
The second effort got it.
I think the second effort got it.
Woo, that was close.
But I didn't think so at first.
He was stuffed. They stuffed it. He got it on the second effort.
Roy March, that first push by the Chargers, it looked like he was going to be short.
He was.
To me, it looked like a long one. I thought it was that.
Good push by Jerome Ford and really Wyatt Teller and Joel.
And so when it's a long one and not necessarily a short one, really.
Way to keep your legs moving, Jameis.
The extra shove by Jerome Ford gets them the first down, and now you've got to get 6 and 7 out of this drive if you're the Browns.
Across the 7-minute mark, this long clock-eating drive continues. Winston.
Got it. Oh, he dropped it. You had it.
Troy down with a smack for the Chargers.
By Jameis Winston just tries to thread this and die. You can even see he almost pulled up a little bit.
Got it. Got to catch it.
Aren't you want to be so careful this day and age as a defensive player?
Absolutely.
Body placement, shoulder placement, all of it so vital. As he avoids the flag, 2nd and goal. Physical play for
Get rid of it.
Winston slinging it near Elijah Molden coming down with it.
Damn. Tried to give his guy a chance there in the back of the end zone. Underthrew it. Underthrew it. Bad ball by Jameis. I mean, that's the best drive literally any offense has had all game. You get 70-yard drive, 18 plays. It sucks that you didn't finish it. Man. Run. Did you see the Browns' run performance on that drive? I mean, you get almost everything you want out that drive, and then you just throw the interception at the end. Defense got to make a play now. Defense owes you a couple of plays, to be honest. We love a Myles Garrett strip sack or something. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. You really needed that drive. You really needed to finish that drive. That was a tough one. No, I mean, it was a good idea. Moore was open in the back of the end zone. That would have been a touchdown. He just threw the good ball. The thing with Jameis is that when he throws these interceptions, some of them are the crazy ones where he's going across his body. He's doing something wacky. Most of them are good ideas. The issue with Jameis Winston has always been throughout his career. He's just not consistently accurate enough to make the throws that he wants to make, which creates a lot of interceptions. By the way, it's Jameis' 100 interception. Yeah, the throw was just low. It was there. Just throw was low. They took advantage of it. And again, Chargers defense capitalizing on their plays, turning those plays into points. Browns defense not.
Come up with a dive on the thick Chase's Cleveland starting to turn the momentum. Oh, man, that couldn't come.
Ford was open in the flat. Take what's there. I got to see it. I got to see it.
Cleveland drive stalls out. So minimal pickup here for Dobbins. Arch takes back to the pick.
Really just an exceptional play by Tar Heel because
Yeah.
right now they're playing cover 2, and they think they got this corner route.
They got it. Yeah, that's the right read. That's the right read. And then 29 just comes up there, makes a play on this ball here.
Miss Winston and gets right underneath this throw to tip it back and then running to.
Yeah. Hey, hell of a play. They're making plays.
Tip the football to Bolden, and you get a touchdown. Excellent job
Oh.
by Still.
Going off the deflection, Cleveland had a chance. Devin Bush was in the vicinity trying to dive what would have been a tremendous play. Simi Fehoko was the intended target. That's the first incompletion for Herbert after 13 straight hits.
But this has been the down. Third down and long. This has been all Justin Herbert. And really take
Give me one sec.
a busted assignments by that Brown secondary.
See what they've done so far. Third down, 3rd and 11. Just before the 6-minute mark in this third quarter. Chargers looking to build on a 17-point lead.
Another but. Okay, you got it off.
It's broken up.
To get off the field.
All right, keeping the game alive.
Scott, 60 punter.
Nah, he was pushed into him.
Chargers, and we'll see what the officials are going to mark this football. Not a great punt by Scott. Not good at all. As Jameis Winston again is going to have good starting field position for the Cleveland Browns as they desperately try to bounce it into the end zone for the first time. They're down 7.
All right, defense kept the game alive. Defense kept the game alive. Good job there. Right now, though, the problem is, like, the Browns defense has made, like, 2 mistakes, but we also haven't made, like, a bunch of plays. We're playing well, but we're not making plays defensively. The Chargers are playing well and making plays. We got to make some plays. Just borderline the truth. You want to win this game, you got to make some plays in the second half. And right now, nobody's making plays. Jameis ain't making plays. Judy ain't making plays. Nick Chubb ain't making plays. Jerome Ford ain't making plays. Nobody's making plays. Got to have a playmaker. Got to have a playmaker. Somebody's got to start making plays. Somebody's got to start making plays. Plain and simple. What, the defense is playing well. They just got a 3-0. Outside of what, 2 busted coverages, they've been fine defensively. But still, you ain't making plays. You made 2 mistakes instead of make plays. That's the difference. And so far, like, everything has just felt so difficult against this Chargers defense. And maybe that's just a credit to their defense, but we got to figure something out. There's got to be some kind of weakness there. Newsome at safety? Why do people think that's a great idea?
The long touchdown strike to Joshua Palmer. Myles Garrett, one of his 3 sacks in what has been just a sensational day for this Cleveland defense. But J.K. Dobbins, touchdown run is 16 yards. And that's where we sit, 20-3 Chargers. That's an interception by Elijah Molden on the deflection, just as the Browns Arch were driving for what appeared to be their first touchdown. Now they got a short field and a must-score position here to try to turn the momentum. Browns begin at their own 47-yard line. Play action from Winston. They protect. Winston slid it.
Oh. I think he lost the ball.
It was incomplete. So our second week of this new partnership between Ken Dorsey, who took over the play calling reins last week, and Jameis Winston. Last week, of course, they were so good. Maybe setting the expectations a bit unrealistic. Chargers had a week to prepare. Look at the film. Another question, can they get this thing turned around?
Yeah, much different style of defense. The Ravens sent a lot of different blitzes, had a lot of different looks. And I thought Winston was in great command. Not a lot of different defenses, just pure zone coverage. Reading his eyes and taking away his first and second option. Almost 65% of the dropbacks from Winston. He's double clutching or hesitating.
Yeah, he hasn't been decisive. They've done a good job of confusing him.
They haven't done a good enough job as an offense to be running the football and getting the Chargers to change their game. They're not manipulating the linebackers in the underneath coverage. And so the windows inside in that intermediate passing game aren't there.
Winston so far, 10 of 20, 98 yards. That last pick, again, that came off the deflection by Still and picked by Molden.
You got time?
Winston climbs the pocket. Bosa coming around the edge and got to Winston right at the release point. Bosa, who's been quiet, trying to get himself back to his usual form. And the Chargers force the fourth 3 and out of the afternoon.
There is nowhere to throw the football. The Chargers secondary and their linebackers are all over. They are going to force Winston to throw it into a...
Yeah, last week you played against a secondary that already wasn't good and then was missing 2 players in it. And this week is a much different world. It's a much different world. Someone say use Chubb. Chubb ain't been that effective in this game, man. Like, it's not like we've had anything be effective in this game that we can point to and be like, oh, yeah, we should have done that more offensively. Right now, if we look at the Browns run total, Nick Chubb got 13 carries for 33 yards. He averaging 2.5 yards a carry right now. Can't go back to that. That's not good. Jerome Ford, 2 carries, 5 yards. They're suffocating you right now defensively. That's just the truth. Someone else brought up a good point. You're down 17. You're not going to run the ball a ton. You want to preserve time on the clock. And when the run game hasn't been effective, it just doesn't justify the sacrifice. Like, that's just what it is. That super chat, Chargers had more time this week to prepare for number 5 this week, and they're just a better team than Baltimore defensively. I think that's the one thing we're missing out. Baltimore's not a great secondary. The Chargers are a great secondary. We're finding it out today. They're just great coverage across the board. Great coverage. And that matters. That matters a ton. That matters a ton. All right. We got another racist in chat. We need a play to be made. Somebody needs to make a play.
It's a Browns team trying to resuscitate their season. 5 and change left in the quarter. 1st and 10 Chargers as they begin at their own 10. Herbert from the gun fakes to Dobbins. Herbert stepping up. Herbert somehow picks up some positive yardage. Looked like he was dead to rights. Actually,
somebody's got to make a play.
So Jim Harbaugh, you know what an incredible run collegiately Michigan national championship season. Back in the NFL after a decade hiatus. Everyone we spoke to, Justin Herbert, Jesse Minter, just could not talk enough about the leadership. Jesse Minter said the way he empowers you just makes him such a powerful leader for this organization.
Yeah, good football coach. Certainly has a unique style that's all its own, but the guy understands how to get the most of his players professionally and collegiately.
Good stop.
Short one play here with Dobbins picking up a couple.
Let's get him off the field here.
Joe Ortiz, first year of this partnership. Ortiz, 26 years in that Baltimore Ravens franchise. As they try to retool this roster, so many of the same players in terms of the headliners for this LA team. Sure, you certainly like the direction of where this thing is headed. 3rd and 4 here. With that clock running, 4 and change left in the quarter. Johnston gets reset, bottom of your pitcher. Herbert from the shotgun. Herbert over
There you go.
the middle, batted down and incomplete.
There you go.
It's
Getting him off the field quick, too.
by Denzel Ward. And the Cleveland defense forces a 3 and out.
Yeah, really, again, Ward he's a man coverage specialist. He has
Good job, Ward.
skills to me that are second to none.
And it's nice that we're getting them off the field and we're getting these 3 and outs. But again, somebody needs to make a play. This Browns team is desperately needing somebody offensively, defensively, special teams. Somebody has to make a big time play here.
Straight 3 and out forced by the Browns defense. Dart's going to play it from the 35. Darby around the edge and force that bounce. So they've had really good starting field position, haven't been able to cash in yet.
You're in an opportunity where you could come back. Like, you just got to make some plays down the stretch here. Only people making plays so far this game is in Chargers jerseys. Yeah, just somebody needs to make a play. We need some plays to be made here. It's going to take a whole team effort here. You're going to need to make plays offensively and defensively. Right now, we're getting them off the field defensively. We're not really making any plays, though. Got to make some plays here. Yeah, the Browns have run the ball a lot in this game. They run it 15 times so far in 3 quarters. Chubb has 13 carries. Just 2.5 yards a carry right now. Can't rely on the run game. It's not been successful enough. Even when they're playing quarters. I mean, like the Chargers are in quarters right now and they're winning with their front 6, not even front 7.
Next Saturday, 3:30, it's a big time showdown with Michigan heads to Bloomington.
Wow, Indiana's number 8.
Indiana will get you set for kickoff beginning at 2:30 Eastern with CBS College Football Kickoff and College Football Today. The Big Ten is on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. And I'm told we have some interesting photographic stuff here to show you. This is Jim Harbaugh yesterday. Our producer Jason Ross, a very proud Michigan alum. And Jason was like a little 10-year-old boy.
Oh,
Just
yes.
boy in there with Jim yesterday in our meeting.
It was fun to see.
It was fun
I
to see.
maybe I'd like to see your inner child.
See, we have to track down to make that happen. Here's Jameis Winston to get it there on 43-yard line to the ground.
Run.
Here, Nick Chubb taking on tacklers, going to get close to the 50. So can they stay balanced?
Sell the team and relocate. Wishing for a, that's stupid. Okay.
So with the run game here in Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
All right.
you'd love to try. You've got to try and score here before the fourth quarter. But to me, again, your inability to run the football against these two high safeties really has limited your offensive effectiveness in this game.
For Winston, again, feeling the pressure coming. He was 2 below 2 giving chase. And Winston, fortunately for him and the Browns, just able to get back to the line of scrimmage as they will be faced here with a 3rd and 3. Jameis Winston, what a difference a week makes. Last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, over 330 passing yards. And he has yet to hit the century mark in this one. 10 of 22. On 3rd and short, Winston fires complete.
Here we go.
Tillman. Badly needed pass play for the Browns.
We need somebody to make a play. Somebody needs to make a play.
One of the few times where Jesse Minter, he brings the pressure inside. They've been almost exclusively zone. And this is really, I thought last week Winston was at his best against Baltimore, seeing and diagnosing all of the different pressure looks, and you see the decisiveness on that throw to pick up the first down.
Winston fires. Was that picked? Yes, it was. A long human. Boy, Winston misses badly.
Yeah, this is awful.
After the scoop, he runs it back 16.
This is awful. Yeah, it's a catch.
Subject to automatic review, certainly appeared to have control there.
That's an awful. I don't even know where he's going with that. Where is he going with this? All right, corner. What's the concept?
He does not allow Tillman to get inside. So Jameis Winston is expecting.
Oh, okay. He's throwing with anticipation there. Tillman doesn't win at the top of his route.
Tarheeb still again on a critical down, taking away the primary read and forcing a turnover.
Oh, Jameis give it and Jameis take it. We saw the high end of what Jameis could do last week, and we saw the low end of what Jameis can do this week. He's just bad right now.
Defense. We started at the top with Dobbins running here on 1st down, talking about the missing pieces. Christian built it today.
Who will get traded after today? I don't know.
To try to do this secondary has been a step ahead. To me, it also starts with how they've been able to stop the run with both of their safety high. Nick Chubb has had 10 carries against the light box for 18 yards, only 1.8 yards per carry. That is not what you're used to seeing from the Browns run game.
Play action here from Harbaugh, rolls out, trying to buy himself some extra time. Arch is such a key point. It gives the defense such an advantage when you don't have to overload the box to stop the run. And keep those extra players on the back end.
And listen, they've run play action only 3 times in this game. So you can't run the ball, and you've got no play action game. The zone coverage guys, they're not getting threatened by anything. They are sitting all over these routes and making life impossible.
I think I just called Justin Herbert Harbaugh. They do have a close spot sometimes.
Yes.
Get those two mixed up. So Herbert now is going to work from the gun, 3rd and 6. The Chargers 5 of 11 on the day on 3rd down. Herbert looking, put some air under it, and it is incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Will Disley, one of their off-season acquisitions.
Keeping them off the field. I mean, good job by the defense. But right now, we just got to get something going offensively.
Keeping this thing close. There's still plenty of clock as we play.
We're still within range.
Again, the coverage breakdowns and the missed assignments.
It's within range. It doesn't feel like it's within range because the Browns offense just hasn't made a play all game.
They're playing lights out on defense.
J.K. Scott on the punt again. Busy day for him. Guard's going to play it. It's going to breathe down his neck. Guard comes across the field. Has a fight with the blockers. A big special teams recovery. Otherwise, he had some more real estate there on the sideline. Nick Neiman coming from the back to get him.
Desperately need somebody to make a play. This game's still somehow within reach. As bad as the offense has been, as bad as Jameis individually has been in this game, game's still within reach. Somebody needs to make a play, though. Somebody still needs to make a play.
Speaking of those Commanders, comfortably on the Giants today.
This is where you want David and Njoku to start popping up here.
Unbelievable turnaround.
Can Jameis Winston, this Browns offense, get into gear? 70 seconds left in the quarter. 1st and 10. Again, terrific starting field position. But can they capitalize? Judy had to reach out for that football, and it's a first down catch for the Browns. Good drive starter for Winston.
And I think it's a little bit too late because, again, none of their passing concepts inside have been working. And so now to try to get some sort of one-on-one, to get a receiver against a corner, you're going to have to work some isolation routes outside the number to get some sort of timing.
Winston over the middle goes.
Get on the ball. Let's get the extra play. Don't let it run down. Don't let it run down. Get the extra play.
Have to run a play here, but likely 2 with 30 seconds left in the quarter. And the Browns face with the second.
Game clock is the play clock. Game clock is the play clock.
Each of the last 2 games. We had to miss those 3 games earlier in the season with the ankle injury. Look at the total.
Nobody's coming.
So that's translated into points yet for the Browns. Should be the final play of the quarter. Winston near side.
All right, 3rd and short.
It's more. And that'll get us to the end of the quarter.
Somebody needs to make a play. They need a big play here offensively. They need a big play here defensively. I think that's what this game has been void of. There's nobody's making a play here. The Chargers are the only ones making plays. Why is everything underneath? They're playing quarters right now. So if you're wondering, hey, why are the Browns only attacking underneath? The Chargers, why they're being so successful right now is that they're playing quarters, which is 4 safeties back, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 quarters, quarter field coverage, quarters coverage. That's why it's called quarters. They're playing a lot of quarters right now. Now, the reason they're able to stay in quarters is that they're stopping the run with their front 4 and 2 linebackers. So they're stopping a run with 6 or 5 in the box, which allows them to run a ton of quarters coverage, which means that the Browns are being squeezed on the run game. They can't run. They can't win against the box of the Chargers, and they can't throw deep because the Chargers are holding them in quarters, which means that the Browns have to go and attack the edges underneath on the outside outside quarters of that coverage. That's why they're attacking that. That's just what's there in quarters coverage. But what I need the Browns to do, somebody on the Browns to do, is make a play. Because, yeah, you can take what the defense is giving you and get a little bit up the field here, and it can take you like a whole quarter to do it. But you need to make a play. You need to get some quick scores here. They're not throwing 2 yards behind the sticks. Well, who said that? Well, yeah. They're playing quarters. They're squeezing you deep. You got to go underneath the quarters coverage. And they're doing a good job holding up underneath, too.
Huntington Bank Field. Banks of Lake Erie, Cleveland Lakefront on a beautiful Sunday. Temperatures up into the 60s. DeJuan Jones limping off for Cleveland moment. There's a Jedrick Wills has 4 games.
Why every time we play zone, it's a mental breakdown. C2 is a disaster.
This has been their usual starter at left tackle. They gave Jones the start, however, in this game on a 3rd and 2.
Got to go for it here.
Gotten from the back. But what?
I mean, they were holding up well in cover 2 before this game. That's the thing. They were playing good zone coverage before this game the last 3 weeks. Just this week, it just completely broke down.
Down from the backside. That's the 2nd or 3rd time game where there has been a backside edge rusher be able to run down Nick Chubb in the backfield for a negative play. The front, the inside guys and the edge guys have been sensational. And here you got 4th down.
4th and 3. Desperation moment. Winston's pass deflected. He's caught by Chubb, and they lose yardage. Boy, Troy down with 2 huge.
Yeah, the Chargers defense got us in hell, man. They got us in hell. That's all I can say about it. The Chargers defense got us in hell right now. Chargers defense got us in hell. We not winning in a run game, 5 versus 6. Zero been all over the field. They got us in hell right now. I mean, what, they tried to run it on 3rd and short. Chubb got ran down. And more concerning, he got tackled by an arm, like a little trip tackle. You don't usually go down by that. I mean, the Browns offense is not playing great. You can give them credit for, you could definitely point that out. But I also think you also got to give credit to the Chargers defense. They came in ranked in the top 10 in every single category. And they look like a top 10 defense, do they not? Like, it's the Chargers defense looks great. They've made the plays in this game that were available to be made. The Browns defense has not lived up to that. Like, this was a defensive battle. I thought the Browns had a chance. I thought they had the better defense, but no, Chargers looking better right now. Way better. Someone said Watson would have us competing for sure, like we're not 1-6.
Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, about 60 miles from where we are here. Kellen Winslow stopping in earlier this week, one of a number of Chargers and Browns that have been inducted. Arch, take us back to that last play.
Well, I know this is designed to go outside to Chubb on a screen, but you've seen Herbert hit the opportunities. And right there, I know Winston isn't looking at it, but again, just a missed opportunity right there. Blown coverage until the nose. They missed a big one.
On 1st and 10, Chargers looking for a knockout punch on this drive. Herbert completes over the middle. Latin McConkey now as they start to lean on his defense. It's a pickup of 20.
I mean, the defense gave you 3 possessions to get within striking range.
Really nice play call
In the 3rd quarter.
play action, taking advantage of the blitz.
And what, we went 2 interceptions and a 4 down, 4 and out.
Currently in the NFC West behind Denver and Kansas City. Broncos today losing at last check against the Baltimore Ravens. So the Chargers trying to pick up some steam now up the division. They play Tennessee next week before they face really the gauntlet of their schedule over
The tackle.
a 5-week stretch, including Kansas City, Arch. But again, you just think about the disappointment for this franchise the last couple of years. It just feels like things are trending in the right direction for Jim Harbaugh and this team.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you consider, I mean, we've already talked about how it all starts with having a franchise quarterback. And certainly Justin Herbert fits the description of what you want. But the fact that he had a training camp injury and then the high ankle sprain and trying to learn a new offense and a new style under Greg Roman and trying to put it all together, and he continues to stay healthy. Now I just believe you get your pieces back. You can really start to build into something special. And then, again, if the defense can still play like they played today and through the first part of the season, when's the last time we've talked about a Charger defense being able to stop anybody, especially in the most important parts of the game?
And it's a defense, or it's really a lot of the same personnel, especially their frontline players that they have had the last couple of years. But the results have been a lot different so far as they try to get their record to 5-3. Herbert here on the 3rd and 9.
Good tackle.
This Cleveland defense continues to do its job. Cam Mitchell.
It's going to be a field goal attempt.
Yeah, 3 plays, really, and they're going to be really upset when they watch the tape of how many good things they did against this offense. But you can't have critical breakdowns. And the good quarterbacks always seem to find the flaw or the mistake in the defense and always seem to hit that play.
So here's Cameron Dicker. His only blemish that missed point after earlier. 44-yard attempt.
He missed that.
Hooking to the left, and that kick is
They are leaving the door wide open, man. We just can't walk through it. We can't walk through it. They're leaving the door. They've left this door wide open this whole second half. We got to walk through it, man. At some point, we got to try to walk through it. All right. I mean, the door's been open all third quarter, most of the fourth quarter. At some point, you got to decide, hey, let's try to walk through it, man. Let's try to walk through it. To give the Chargers credit, like, they have not given up a lot of points this year. 8 points last week, 15 points versus the Cardinals, 17 points, my bad. 16 points versus the Broncos, 17 versus the Chiefs, 20 versus the Steelers, 3 versus the Panthers, 10 versus the Raiders. A damn shame we just need a competent QB at the start of the season. They got to fix the quarterback position. I mean, we all knew that Jameis wasn't the long-term fix at quarterback. Nobody serious thought that that was the answer. It's more of a short-term thing, but you want to figure out what your long-term answer is at quarterback going forward in one of these 2 draft classes.
Good year. Beautiful pictures high above Huntington Bank Field. Up downtown Cleveland.
So we came into this game wondering if this Chargers defense was for real. You found out the answer, yeah, but they've left the door open. You got to walk through it.
Jameis Winston, if you just joined us. Yeah, 15 of 28 for about 24. He's thrown 2 picks. This offense unable to get into the end zone until this point. Winston staring down his number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, throws a strike over the middle, and that is Elijah Moore. Trying to resuscitate this offense. It's a pickup of 17.
That's really a nice start to this drive. They just, they've got to start to speed it up. Really, they haven't really had a chance to get any plays over 10 yards in this game, and down by 17 points. They've got to get going here because if they want any chance, I think you got to score at least in under 3 minutes.
DeJuan Jones, as he points out the over the shoulder, he's back at left tackle for the Browns. Winston, they pick up the blitzer. Winston again a little bit low with that pass. Unable to get it to Tillman. Arch, what have you seen from this Chargers defense so good so far?
Well, they've been exceptional. Linebackers underneath, playing zone coverage, reading the eyes of Winston, Matt with great pressure. The fact that they've been able to stop this run with their front and then defensive back, Tar Heels still having an exceptional game, being a part of two takeaways by that defense. The first one, Elijah Molden. The second one, interception by Alohi Gilman. Excellent job today.
Our 2nd and 10. Winston is picked up again.
Only down 17. That's nothing to the Browns, baby. Yeah, they just threw another interception.
His first
I mean, it's a miracle they only have 20 points given that you throw them 3 interceptions.
just turned out the
Well, we knew we were going to get the 3 interception Jameis Winston game, and we got it. We knew we were going to get one of them.
big John swings. You'll see 1 week to the next.
Yes. There he is. Still, he's going to be man.
This is part of the Winston experience. We knew this coming into it. He was going to give you a game where he's going to throw 3 touchdowns. He's going to give you a game where he throws 3 interceptions. And we're getting the 3 interception game versus one of the better defenses in the NFL.
Jameis Winston and Ken Dorsey are trying to do in this passing game.
Herbert's pass actually deflected by Disley. Then it was McConkey in the 2nd level and falls incomplete. Let's get you another NFL Today update to New York and Maine.
Oh, we got a good one in Buffalo. Watch this play by Josh Allen. He is going to slide right, step up. He's going to take a shot, but it is caught by Brittany Morris. The Bills are up 27-20. That's the experiment. The team.
All right, Nate Tua has that Miami offense viable again. So the Bills dominating that division right now, top of the AFC East, 6-2. So 2 straight passes to begin this drive for them. They get it to Disley here. He's going to cross the 40-yard line, get it up to the 41 now.
What's the flag? Feels like roughing.
Took a little bit of a hit at the end of this play. They pick up 6.
The Jameis experience as advertised. Yep. Hey.
Jenny surprised that they're throwing here to start this drive, 17-point lead, trying to run that clock a little bit.
Somewhat, but the only explanation is you would expect Cleveland to load up against the run. So you go play action on the first play to try to get a big play out of it. And then this is a conservative screen. So, you expect to at least, be able to complete this football and still, when he gets tackled, time be able to run off the clock. But I don't think with 10 minutes left, not too worried about the clock management.
Like Paul coming to get Herbert on that last play. This is Disley again trying to weave his way through traffic. It's out across the 30, close to the 34-yard line. That'll be the 3rd down coming up to the Chargers as we hit the 10-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Now the Chargers with possession, comfortably holding a 17-point lead.
Yeah, really now that you're under the 10-minute mark, Browns have done a good job on defense, but the name of the game is takeaways. Right now, you are down 6.
Hat trick for Winston, turns back into a pumpkin. I mean, this is what Jameis has been his whole career. He's been a guy who's capable of throwing for 3 touchdowns. He's been a guy who's capable of this.
Take away the ball once, maybe twice, to have a chance.
Browns defense does not have a takeaway in the last 3+ games. Herbert steps up, looking, throws, deflected, and incomplete. Looked like Moore may have got a fingertip on it.
Again, it's nice we're getting these 3 and outs, but I would love a play being made. Would love a play being made.
Singing Jameis Winston's praises. Remember, it was just 2 weeks ago that
Wonder what will come first, my son graduating college, he's an 8th month old, or me retiring, or a Brown Super Bowl. Who knows?
he's going to play here from the 10-yard line up the seam. He's going to get out across the 20.
The only guarantee in there, well, the closest thing to a guarantee in that scenario, Mike, is that your son's going to graduate high school or college. Well, college ain't a guarantee. Not everybody goes to college, but very feasible. Retirement. Browns win the Super Bowl.
Those Should Winston remain the starter? Should they make another quarterback change? And so we have an injured now Charger on the field being looked at. It is Simi Fehoko.
Let's see, doing a super chat just to say love, brother. Love your videos. OG fans still here amongst the noise, by the way. Let them know. Appreciate that, Mr. Red Pants. It's all good.
Fehoko very gingerly is going to come off the field for the Chargers.
I think he hurt his wrist.
Chargers did
Yeah, we're getting one of those Jameis games.
If today to making his return potentially next week. So this Chargers team deals with a bunch of injuries at that wide receiver position. Conti, Johnston, and Palmer. Johnston missing the last 2 weeks. Conti trying to pick up the slack arch. As they get ready here to the Browns on the 1st and 10.
Appreciate you becoming a member. Hold on. This season is like a crash test dummy simulation. We keep showing up every week and we watching the same car run into the same wall.
I would like to see
You got to give them credit. Like, they've done different versions of the crash though every time.
more play action, but really trying to work outside a little.
This is the first like just throwing a bunch of interceptions game we got all season.
54 times today. They threw the ball inside the numbers.
What QB should we draft? Not really sure yet. You know, we'll have a better idea by the time we get to February.
Breaking on the football, and have really baited Jameis Winston into mistakes thrown inside.
Ford on the catch. Henley was there. You know, the other part of the conversation, some people wondering in Cleveland, you know, with Winston playing well last week, would Kevin Stefanski take the play calling reins back? And so you see Fehoko now being escorted into the locker room. But it does remain to be Ken Dorsey, the play caller, as Winston completes. This will be a first down connection over the middle. Tillman working against Molden. There's Ken Dorsey's second game with the play calling duties as they pick up 12 here, first down. And
Cage. Okay. We got another one in here.
Back through Chubb and the play action game to be effective.
I love how people bring up that like I used to work a regular job. Like it's something I'm ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of for working for a living. I guess you look at people who work for a living like they garbage. That ain't me.
Because the play caller in Buffalo was that they got away from the running game too much. As they play here in 17-point hole, Winston Nearset puts his back into it. Jerry Judy working in still at the pick just a couple of minutes ago to pick up from the dozen. So they move to 6.
If we trade to Myles Garrett, you'll become John Wick.
You just got to put your receivers out there and just win one-on-one. And I don't believe they've done enough of that today. Just receiver, first corner, who's going to win?
Well, Jim Harbaugh getting the timeout. They had 12 men on the field with the Chargers. So just before the football was snapped, Harbaugh able to get the timeout and avoid what would have been a 12-man on the field penalty.
Score here could get interesting.
One of the indispensable pieces on this defense. It comes up late in favoring that right leg. Boy, just hate to see that. There's no more impressive physical specimen in the NFL. Still doing it, the ageless one. Mack, a sack earlier in his 11th NFL season, the All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler. Just trying to check that everything's okay on that sideline. 1st and 10, Cleveland, with that clock running inside of 7 minutes. Winston's pass for Ford, a little bit high. And it falls incomplete. Now Ford a little bit hobbled. Let's go downstairs to Aditi.
Spiro, I talked to Khalil Mack this week, and he said, look, all he wants to do is win a championship. And it's interesting because Jesse Minter said as a first-year defensive coordinator, he couldn't ask for 2 better players than Khalil Mack and Derwin James. He said they are the epitome of superstar while being as humble as guys off the street. I'm watching Khalil Mack on the bench right now. He looks to be in pain, but we both know he's a warrior.
They hit the ground, right? That had to have hit the ground. Appreciate the support, Chosen. We don't even got to rally around me about stuff like that. It's just one ass on the internet. It's a dime a dozen.
The day to day. And
yeah,
there's been almost zero separation today by the Browns receivers and tight ends against this back seven.
2 downs here to get 10. Winston wobbling pass. Little bit of contact right in the release point. More against Still. Not the protection that they were looking for.
Kicking a field goal.
And on 4th down here, Dustin Hopkins is going to come on to try to get you 3 points and get this thing down to a 14-point differential.
I mean, why not?
Is better than 17, and your chances of converting on 4th and 10, the way it's been going today, and not many 10-yard gains from the Cleveland offense.
Hopkins hit earlier from 38. This one blocks.
Story today.
And the push.
Who's making plays? Who's not? The Chargers are making the plays. The Browns aren't. It's really the story of the day. It's the basic story of the day here. One team's making plays, one team's not.
And that look from Kevin Stefanski tells you the story for Cleveland.
It looked like a low kick. I couldn't tell. Did it hit a Browns?
It was hard.
Yeah, it's just a low kick here. Dustin Hopkins doesn't get good grip there. We got to have a conversation about Dustin Hopkins. This is one of them games where nothing goes right. Nothing goes right. That wasn't going to go in even if it went over, man. Nothing's gone right for this team today.
Chance.
Kind of hit the turf a little bit, just didn't get it cleanly, Hopkins.
I know you don't play golf. Let's call it chili dip. Spirit. You chili dipped it. And I hate it. There's nothing worse than when you chili dip your driver.
Do you do that a lot?
I mean, more than I it's a big part of your game. It feels so gross. So gross when it happens.
And remove.
J.K. Dobbins picks up 4
Yeah.
here. Faces on the Cleveland sideline. Clock running, 6 and change left. 17-point game. But there was some hope in this city, in that building, after what they did last week against the Ravens.
And last week, everything bounced your way. Everything went right in that game. This week, it's the opposite.
Play here in week 9. Palmer in motion. Dobbins breaking free inside the 10, and it will be 1st and goal for the Chargers. And they're starting to lean on him here in Cleveland. It's a run at 35. And boy, he left Denzel Ward in his wake with that little juke step.
Yeah, they caught the secondary in transition and
Great run by Dobbins.
The inside. Just that's what happens when you stick to the game.
Great run by Dobbins. Look at that juke.
Run defense. They've been a really good run defense all season long. And really, their front has played very well, getting to Herbert, stopping the run, but at this point, the 4th quarter makes it tough.
Boy, Dobbins coming back from those 2 devastating injuries. Did you spoke to him this week? What did he tell you?
I did, and he's on a 1-year contract. Listen to this. The Ravens liked him so much that Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti begged him, please call me before you decide to go anywhere else. J.K. told me that meant a lot to him, but ultimately he wanted a new start. And GM Joe Ortiz, who was in the Ravens organization for so long, was a big reason he trusted this 1-year opportunity here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that could be a potential move or an off-season move that really catapults this franchise as we get into the second half of the season. Herbert, Dobbins bounces to the edge, and it's Dobbins in touchdown.
This is about as bad as what the Baltimore game last year with DTR. This is bad. They left you with a 17-point window to come back all fourth quarter, man, all third quarter.
To the left, the Browns, they lose contain on that side, and then Dobbins, it's been tough running today, but when they've been in the high red zone, he's been able to.
Here, remember the 20 ACL, his second NFL season, back in that 21 year. Just have to feel good for this young man at the long road that he has had to fight through. Perseverance, Arch. Some of the toughest rehabs in professional sports. And J.K. Dobbins has his moment. Greg Roman loves it. What a big win for the Chargers here in Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. To come up here on the road, this is a tough place to play football. This crowd is always tremendous. And to go on the road, they get a great effort by their defense. And it wasn't always easy for the offense. The Cleveland Browns defense played tough. Credit, Herbert for finding the assignment errors and hitting their defense for big plays. And then just too much in the fourth quarter, the run game started.
20.
Well, we knew you could lose 2 games. This is one of them, and this is one of them that's going to hurt, too, because if you had any hope of being back in the wild card, the Chargers were going to be in that picture.
Chargers going to head home next week. They'll take on a struggling Tennessee team. The Cleveland Browns will have a bye next week as they'll try to hit the drawing board. Today, CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a report on the security of Tuesday's elections, followed by new episodes of Tracker and the Equalizer.
With Jameis, you got one game where he looked incredible. He threw for over 300 yards. You have another game where he looks bad. I mean, you just back to square one with Jameis at this point.
Herbert told us yesterday, we all love having Jim.
But I do think the Chargers are probably the best defense you've went up against. But think about it. I mean, look at the defenses you're going to have to go up against. You're going to have to play Pittsburgh twice. They're very good, too. So this is going to have to be something they have to figure out some kind of answer for. Like, yeah, this is the best defense you've played. But also, you're going to play some good defenses coming down the stretch here. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Jim Harbaugh
trying to sign Chase McLaughlin.
You know what I like about Harbaugh?
I mean, you're 2-6, so like it's not going to kill you to stick out Dustin Hopkins throughout this contract. But so they'll probably do it.
Understands the principles of what it takes to build a football team, what good coaching feels like, and he really has a way of connecting with his players.
Guys, you know what, Arch, as you say that, it reminds me of a conversation I had with Jim Harbaugh where he told his son Jay to follow his brother John Harbaugh's path.
Shout out to the Cavs.
Because he told Jay, you should specialize in any one area, exactly as you're saying.
Yeah, and you've gotten to know his brother John quite well. I think you watch how he constructs the Ravens and not afraid to make different coaching decisions, different coaching hires on what suits his personnel. He's not married to a certain scheme. I really think that both of them really understand what it takes to build and what good coaching looks like on all sides of the football.
Winston on 4th down. One last guess for this Cleveland offense. Winston's going to run for it, and he has it. The other interesting thing that Justin Herbert talked about was, playing for a guy who not only played the position, but played in the NFL at the highest level. The hands-on nature that Jim Harbaugh has taken, everything from footwork and handling the football.
But the key is how to teach it. And that's
Appreciate you, Cardinal.
Players don't know. They don't know what they know. They don't know how to teach it. I think that he is an excellent teacher on how to be a better player.
All part of the uniqueness of what makes Jim Harbaugh so special as a coach. Let's get you back to New York. NFL Today update.
This Miami and Buffalo game is good. Second and goal. They need a touchdown. Tua steps up in the pocket, slides right in. Oh, it's a nice ball to Waddle. How about that? Waddle with the touchdown. Extra point good. Score. Tied. It's 27.
What do you think Tua is valuable for that Miami team? My goodness. Here's Cedric Tillman breaking a couple of tackles.
I mean, none of the wide receivers have really made a ton of plays, but Cedric Tillman's the closest one to making any kind of play.
15 yards.
We really.
Two weeks.
Oh, Thrash is out there.
It's been held in check. Some of the numbers that he's built on here down the stretch, but it's a quiet day for Cedric Tillman. Winston going to run forward. Winston inside the 30. Takes a hard hit down to the 25-yard line. It's a 13-yard scramble.
2-minute warning.
We'll get us to the 2-minute warning here in Cleveland.
Yeah, we'll let this play out. See what the final score is. I think best case scenario, probably 27-10 Browns, Chargers. A lot to talk about. Yeah, I think the inability to run the ball in this game is probably the thing that concerns me the most because, again, they weren't playing heavy boxes this week. They were playing 6 guys in the box, and with Jerome Ford back, you had an extra running back in the game. Not being able to run the ball at a solid clip here is very concerning. I thought that was one of your keys to be able to beat this team in the Chargers, but you weren't able to run the ball. I mean, you averaged 2.5 a carry on 15 carries with Nick Chubb. It's not good, right? A long of 11. Your most productive runner all game is Jameis Winston. So not being able to run the ball effectively, again, when Los Angeles is not giving you heavy boxes, that's a concern. Obviously, the 3 interceptions for Jameis Winston. It's not good, and you don't want to be in a situation where you have to throw Jameis Winston 40-plus times. I mean, it worked out for you last week against Baltimore. Doesn't work out for you this week. I said on AFC North Talk, you got to be careful with how much you throw with Jameis in this game because unlike Baltimore, the Chargers are going to catch those interceptions, and the Chargers did a good job of catching those interceptions. The Chargers defense is very good, but we also just couldn't get out of our own way. Can't run the rock. Yeah, the run game not being productive, like the secondary for the Chargers holding up, that's what they came into this game hoping to do, right? They hope to make Jameis throw into tight windows and hope they could pick him off, and they did a really good job executing that game plan from the secondary. What they were willing to give you with that game plan was the run game. And the Browns' run game being completely ineffective, 24 carries for 79 yards, just allowed that game plan to work very well for the Chargers. And then the Browns making the mistakes on defense, making it so the Browns have to throw their way into the game. And then Jameis on top of that looking like a backup quarterback today. Right? Last week he looked great. This week he looked like a backup.
Headed to the parking lot here in Cleveland, boy, disappointing into what was just a buzzy week for this Cleveland.
But you get the bye week, you see what you can fix, and then you see where you're at the end of the season. Win as much as possible, though. Well, hey, right now you got one great game from Jameis, one bad game from Jameis, one awful game from Jameis, really. And you'll see where you're at if you continue to play him. But this has kind of been what the Jameis experience was promised to be. Some great games, some bad games. You're getting one of those bad games. Nobody told you this wouldn't be possible with Jameis.
Establish some new team highs with their performance here.
And really, you watch them today, it was all 3 levels that were exceptional. Up front, they stuffed Nick Chubb in the run game. The linebackers, not only in the run game, with Henley and Perryman, their drops in zone coverage, and then the secondary, they've given this offense nothing to work with. They have smothered every aspect of this offense today.
How many red zone drives did the Browns have in this game? I want to double check that. Because I think they have had how many? Punt, field goal. So 1 scoring drive, punt. Jameis takes a bad sack there. And then
no official update according to what Aditi has told us on Mac. So we hope that he's okay.
Oh, got it. I don't think he got both in.
In that back corner of the end zone. And it was Cam Hart who was right there for the Chargers.
Yeah, and again, I'm just a little surprised that they haven't. I think that's the first.
That's two.
It was close.
Yes, I think that's the first go route down the sideline that we've seen the Browns throw. They have been adamant about.
That's two.
I think that's a touchdown.
It's two. That's a touchdown.
Folks, that is a great job of getting that toe down.
Good job by Cedric Tillman. I think that's the one highlight of this game. Cedric Tillman.
Review process automatically initiated.
Yeah, but the question, did he have control of the football? So I think the feet are down, but watch the football as he's going to the ground. I think the play, it is a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looked like to me, it did look like to me on one of those angles that at first he secures it, but then the ball does come out as he's going to the ground. But great effort nonetheless. Watch right here, Spiro. The ball, now he's got it secured.
Cedric Tillman, just amazing concentration, working in that back corner of the end zone. It's his third career NFL touchdown catch. But the Browns just running out of clock. 44 seconds. One after by Hopkins.
All right.
Is good.
Yeah, Tillman, I think he's at like 70 for this game and a touchdown. He's played well. He's been the closest thing to a playmaker the offense has had all game. Yeah, 6 receptions, 75 yards on 11 targets, and a touchdown. So you're continuing to see progress from Cedric Tillman. That's a good thing from a young player especially, but still more things to talk about. Yeah, this is that 1 touchdown, 3 interception Jameis game I was worried about happening. He knew he was going to give you one. What? Yeah, we'll get into the recap soon here once this game hits final. What are the scores across the league? Let's see what happened around the league. Week 8. So that's week 8. Week 9. Miami and Buffalo still going back and forth. 30 Buffalo, 27 Miami. Baltimore beat the absolute life out of the Denver Broncos, 41-10. Jeez. Browns obviously 27-10. New Orleans 22-23. Carolina. I think Bryce Young's actually playing pretty good in that game. And the Bengals are beating the life out of the Las Vegas Raiders. So they're showing signs of life as well. Tennessee beating the New England Patriots. Looks like they're going to win against it. Well, I don't know. They're on the Tennessee 5. They might score.
Enthusiasm.
They're going to take that knee.
Their win against
That's
the
going to
Raiders.
be it. Browns dropped to 2-7. Obviously, even at 3-6, if they would have won today, their playoff odds would have been very, very tough. I talked about that in the video where it's like, hey, their odds are tough. It's not bad for a team that's in as bad as the situation as they're in, but it's not a great spot to be in. Now they drop another game to 2-7. I mean, their best possible record is 10-7. If they win out, it's going to be really hard to win out. You still got a game at Pittsburgh. Historically, the Browns haven't done well on that one. You still got a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have yet to lose a game yet this season. So your route to the playoffs just got very much close to impossible by losing today. It was close to death's door before this game, and we talked about that. But, now you're even closer to it. So that's another situation that's coming. But we'll get into it. Let's get into it. Nah, that's not the right button. He missed that field goal? No, he made it. So the Patriots won that game. And Miami is about to lose this game versus the Buffalo. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they lost. All right. Well, we talked about how Jameis was going to be a up and down player and give you some unbalanced performances this year. This was certainly an example of that, right? Last week, he gives you a 3-touchdown, 300-yard performance. This week, he gives you a 3-interception performance. Anybody who's followed Jameis knows that he's capable of both. He's capable of giving you that spectacular game. He's capable of giving you an awful game. And so far, 2 games in the Jameis Winston experience, we have witnessed both of those things. If this game proved anything, is that Jameis Winston is going to be Jameis Winston, right? Like, you're going to get the Jameis stuff. He's not going to completely transform and turn himself into a new person. I told you that on the film review. We're like, hey, you just got to expect Jameis to be Jameis. And this is part of the Jameis Winston experience, not experiment, my bad. And I think that's all fair and good and all. Let's talk about why the Browns lost this game. And look, Jameis throwing 3 interceptions is not something that I didn't expect out of a Jameis Winston to do eventually. So it's not the most concerning thing. I'm not shocked that he threw 3 interceptions. I am shocked that he did it in this game. But him throwing 3 interceptions in a game that's happened, 14 times before with Jameis Winston. I think the more concerning thing to me is the run game performance in this game was pretty bad. Browns ran the ball, 16, 17, 18, 19 times with a running back. They ran it 24 times, including Jameis's 5 scrambles. Nick Chubb went 15 carries, 39 yards. It's 2.6 yards per carry. It's really, really bad, especially for Nick Chubb, who averages career-wise double that. Pierre Strong, 2 carries, 8 yards, 4 yards a carry. And then Jerome Ford, 2 carries, 5 yards, 2.5 yards a carry coming off of injury. And the thing that's concerning about this is how the Chargers played you. The Chargers did not stack the box to stop the run this week. The Chargers were playing a lot of off coverage. They were playing a lot of quarters coverage. They were giving you the middle of the field and leaving 6 to 5 guys in the box to run the ball against, and we just could not win consistently on the line of scrimmage with that. It's a concern for Nick Chubb. It's a concern for every of those running backs, but more importantly, it's a concern for the offensive line that in that situation, you weren't able to win and consistently create rush lanes. That was going to be the Browns' best pathway to victory, was being able to force the Chargers out of these cover 4 looks, which would let Jameis get some plays downfield. But since you didn't do that and execute in the run game, Jameis had to throw the ball 46 times into cover 4 coverage, and it turned into a ton of interceptions. Jameis in this game, a lot more hesitant than he was last week. Was not as accurate as he was last week. We know Jameis is an inconsistent player. I call him the J.R. Smith of quarterbacks. I think that is a pretty apt description, right? Sometimes he's capable of making some great plays. Sometimes he's capable of making you scratch your head and wondering how he ever got out there, right? I think the big number for Jameis that I didn't like about how he played was that 6-sack number, right? He took 6 sacks in this game, which meant he was holding on to the ball way longer. Now, part of this was that the coverage for the Chargers this week was much better in their defense than what he was playing against last week, where the Baltimore secondary, which already is not good, was also playing injured. And he took advantage of that. The Chargers secondary, not injured. The lanes weren't as wide open, and he made more mistakes, and he obviously held the ball longer and threw into coverage and took sacks here. So Jameis, I think he had a pretty poor game. 26 of 46, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, in 3 interceptions. Just not a great game. Taking those 6 sacks too. You don't want that. Like if you're going to be that low yield, you can also take sacks and be behind the line of scrimmage. The one bright spot in this game, I guess 2, because Jerry Jeudy somehow got to 70 yards as well. But Cedric Tillman, I thought, was the closest thing this offense had to having a playmaker all game. Playmaking was something that was just completely absent for this Cleveland Browns team for most of the game. Cedric Tillman was the only one coming close to making a play, had a nice touchdown catch at the end of the game. The only kind of yak plays were from Cedric Tillman in this one in the middle of the field. He had 6 receptions, 75 yards, a touchdown, a long of 17. Jerry Jeudy, 7 receptions, 73 yards, and a long of 13. But I think a lot of what Jerry Jeudy did was just like at the end of the game, what the defense was allowing you to have, because they just didn't want to give up a big play downfield. I think Cedric Tillman's yardage was a little bit more contested than that. So not like sliding Jerry Jeudy or anything, just saying I think what Cedric Tillman did in this game was a lot more impressive and more worthy of praise here. Let's talk about the Browns defense for a quick minute here, because I thought the line of scrimmage played well. I thought the secondary really just kept making the same mistake. And I don't know if it's cover 2, if it's cover 6 or whatever it was that they were fucking up, but they kept messing up this coverage between Juan Thornhill and Denzel Ward. And the thing that's infuriating about this, if you've watched the Browns for any period of time, is this is not the first time that Denzel Ward and Juan Thornhill or whoever's playing the safety a couple of years ago was John Johnson III, can't figure out who's high, who's low in zone coverage. The reason I have to lean towards thinking this is Denzel Ward's fault is because Denzel Ward is the only corner on the roster where this consistently happens to. Like, we can go all the way back to 2021 and point out, like, hey, Denzel Ward and then John Johnson or whoever the safety is, they're not communicating. Somebody's high, somebody's low, and then who's supposed to be back there? This does not happen to Greg Newsome. This does not happen to Martin Emerson a ton, but it happens like at least 4 times a year to Denzel Ward specifically. So I have to think it's Denzel Ward, right? Like, that's the guy who's making these mistakes. And Denzel, I thought, had a really poor first half of this game. I thought he played much better in the second half, but in that first half, he was responsible for giving up like 14 points. And 14 points, the Browns lose by 17. It would be a completely different game if you didn't give up those big plays there. And those weren't just big plays because you gave up a touchdown. Those are big plays because the Browns defense and the defensive line did a great job of forcing the Los Angeles Chargers into an obvious punt situation on both of those situations. The both times that you gave up the busted coverage touchdown, right? The Browns were, I think, in 3rd and 22 in one of them. I think they were in like 3rd and 15 on the other one. You were primed to get a punt or a super long field goal attempt in those spots, and then you gave up 2 touchdowns. Absolutely unacceptable. And look, Jameis Winston is a backup quarterback at the end of the day. He's not somebody that we expect to play at a franchise quarterback level on a consistent basis. Like, you just expect Jameis Winston to throw the ball up, give people a chance to make a play, and do whatever with it. So I can't sit here and like point my finger at Jameis, act like he's the most disappointing thing this week. He was not good, mind you. Like, he's not that good. He was not that good in this game. But the most disappointing thing in this game had to be the defensive performance in the first half. Did they do a good job of holding the Chargers to 20 in the second half? Sure. But this game was going to be a defensive battle coming in, and the Browns defense did not even give themselves a chance to win this battle. Now, would the offensive come through? I don't know. I don't think so, right? The offense was really bad this week, on top of the Chargers defense playing really good. So maybe this isn't a game you win even if things go your way. But you still should have had more of a chance to show up in this one than you did, right? I think a lot of the Browns' offense's issues kind of stem back to not being able to run the ball versus light boxes. Like that's a real concern. Like they were in light boxes. They don't have the heaviest linebackers. We should be able to run the ball when they're consistently in quarters coverage. Defensively, I mean, like you did a good job against them outside of those busted coverage plays. But you can't write off the busted coverage plays as if they did not happen. They happened, and they happened because of Denzel Ward. And this is like every year we're talking about Denzel Ward having a game or two like this where like he just completely forgets who's over top and where the zone coverage is. Every year it happens. It's a thing that happens every year with Denzel Ward. And it's a thing that happens every year with this Browns defense for whatever reason. We just give up these busted coverage plays, sometimes at a higher frequency than others. Now, how much do I take away from this on like some of the bigger picture questions, right? Should Ken Dorsey be the play caller going forward? Should Jameis continue to be the starter going forward? All of these other issues that the Browns have going on. I don't know if I can take large things from this game. What we have right now from the Browns playing without Deshaun Watson is one great offensive performance versus the Baltimore Ravens and one bad offensive performance versus the Chargers. Now, it's worth noting the Chargers, much stronger defense than the Baltimore Ravens, right? The Baltimore Ravens, their secondary has been weak all year, and they were injured. So it made sense that you were able to throw the ball on the Baltimore Ravens. And on some level, it made sense that you weren't going to be able to have the same level of passing success versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Still doesn't make any of the 3 interceptions that Jameis threw like acceptable because they were all bad interceptions. Like none of those interceptions, I was like, that's bad luck. Like they were all inaccurate passes by Jameis, so he deserves full credit for every interception that he threw. But you just look at this game, and the main thing that concerns me is that we could not run the ball versus these light boxes. Like, is Nick Chubb going to get that burst back soon enough for it to matter for this season? I don't know. It didn't look great in this one. Jerome Ford only getting 2 carries and only getting 5 yards with those 2 carries is concerning. The run blocking performance from what is a pretty healthy offensive line, right? Jack Conklin was back. Wyatt Teller is back. Ethan Posick is back. You have a left guard, Joe Bitonio. He's healthy. And then you had your pick of the litter at left tackle between DeJuan Jones and Jedrick Wills. You should have been much better at being, you got a healthy Jeff Swain. You got a healthy David Njoku. Yeah, like you were too healthy on the line of scrimmage here to not be able to run the ball versus light boxes. And they just could not conjure any success on the ground this week. That to me is the most concerning takeaway from this game. I give credit to the Chargers secondary for showing up, and I give blame to Jameis for making some bad decisions while that secondary was showing up. But that's all in the realm of what you expect from a backup quarterback when he's playing. And at the end of the day, Jameis is a backup quarterback, right? I don't think anybody in their right mind was like trying to say that Jameis is going to be the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Even I said it in the video after he had the 300-yard performance. Still got to focus on the next 2 draft classes to get your franchise guy for the future. So that is what it is. But you do expect Nick Chubb to be able to do something in that situation on his 3rd game back. You do expect Jerome Ford to be more useful than 2 carries for 5 yards. And more importantly, you expect that offensive line to be able to run block more effectively than that, right? Being shut down by 5 and 6 in the box. I think that's the most discouraging thing about this all. We'll see how the Browns finish out the season. The playoffs are a reach at this point. It's not impossible. They're not mathematically eliminated. And that's important to note, but it's a reach at this point, right? Like it would take a lot for the Browns to make the playoffs here. It would take certainly way more for the Browns to make the playoffs than for them not. But you have to just evaluate what this team is for the rest of the season and what they're able to do. And if we can't figure out how to get this run game going on a consistent basis, You got to make some big changes there. Obviously, we know that changes need to happen at the quarterback position. We knew that Jameis isn't the future of this team. We know Deshaun's not the future of this team anymore. Like, you got to look elsewhere for the future of your team at quarterback, but that's more of a conversation for the draft. The run game right now, you got to start answering some tough questions, right? Nick Chubb, I thought last week showed some signs of playing better. This week, it's a little bit more concerning. He got ran down a couple of times. Didn't look like he had the ability to get that burst. Like, I'm starting to be concerned about that. It's been 3 weeks. But I'm not going to freak out there. You saw some good signs from some of your young wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman played well. But again, like, are these guys number one receivers? Or are they just nice receivers to have? Because the entire third quarter, we needed somebody offensively to make a play, and we had nobody to lean on to make a play. And that includes David Njoku, who was pretty pedestrian in this game as well as a blocker and as a receiver. The question for the Browns offense is, who's the playmaker? Are they going to have a playmaker in this offense? Is it Cedric Tillman? If it is, then we need to get him the ball more often. But right now, this Browns offense does not have a playmaker, and that's a big problem. Like, Nick Chubb's not a playmaker right now. He's somebody who can do well with the play in front of him, but he's not a playmaker. Jameis, not a playmaker. Cedric Tillman, maybe a playmaker. Jerry Jeudy, not really a playmaker, right? Jordan Atkins, not a playmaker. David Njoku, you would hope would be a playmaker based on what he did last year, but he's not a playmaker right now. You need playmakers on offense. You need guys who are able to make something happen when it's tough, right? And the Chargers defense made things tough, but we didn't have anybody willing to make plays. You look at the Chargers on the other side of the ball. They were able to make those plays happen. Josh Palmer on the back shoulder ball, beautiful throw by Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's a playmaker. He made something happen. J.K. Dobbins, the Browns were suffocating the run all game, but found a way to make a play at the end of the game and score that touchdown. He's a playmaker. The Browns got to figure out who's going to make these plays. Like, they did not play make in this game at all, offensively or defensively. Other than Myles Garrett, he had like 3 sacks in this game, right? But in that secondary, we didn't have a playmaker. And then on the offense, we didn't have a playmaker. And all the playmakers, they were wearing blue and white today. They were wearing Chargers on their helmet, right? They were on the Los Angeles Chargers. We didn't have a single playmaker on offense today. I think that's the most disappointing thing. Quentin Johnson, 4 receptions, 110 yards, right? The Browns have some solid players. The Browns have some good players who could fit a role really well. But we really got to start asking, like, hey, are our playmakers going to start making plays soon? This game, no plays from your playmakers. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm concerned about. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.